addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. Thank you for joining us for episode 129.
129.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the pod gods, and with me is the best man in all the podcast land, my right-hand man, Mr. B. Hill.
Hola. Hey, fuck is up?
Hola,
Happy Tuesday.
hola, hey.
Today is today. Yeah, today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing all right. Or whenever you listen to it. Hope you're having the ball.
What's up? How are you?
I'm stoned.
You should be stoned. That's a good way to be.
I'm always fucking stoned.
Hey, what's funny about that? What's funny about that? Somebody sent me like a video of Leslie Jones, and she was about to spark up, and I guess one of her people or something was recording.
There.
Don't do that.
That's some shit you just want to open up. You know? All the pretty people on fucking Instagram motherfucking send you a fucking video of Leslie Jones.
Don't bullshit. Do that, B. Do not do that to Leslie Jones. Do not.
How dare you send me a fucking... Nobody wants to see Leslie Jones, especially smoking or some shit. That's, motherfuckers be super unattractive when they like trying to hold smoke in and shit.
First of all women are not here for your eye candy, okay? Leave Leslie Jones alone. However, I do not understand why she keep picking the hairstyles that she fucking picks.
Exactly. And the motherfucker had the audacity to fucking DM you that shit. How dare you? And all these fucking Bernice Burgos is out here and you want to DM me Leslie Jones smoking. Fuck off.
First of all, back up. They sent me Leslie Jones. She was about to smoke. She was not smoking, but she looked like she was already fucking stoned.
Even more attractive.
And, they were recording her and they were basically saying, oh, ain't no smoking here. They was basically like fucking with her. But I just found it so funny that nowadays, and I feel like even more so now during COVID and all this other shit, all these celebrities are just freely smoking now. Like, they don't care about image. They don't care about endorsement deals. They don't care about none of that shit. No more.
I mean, everybody at the crib. I mean, motherfuckers still working and moving and shit, but majority of the time you be at the crib. Like, yeah, you might, like, you see celebrities at the crib like hell. Like, they be out. Like, the celebrities that I follow, like, if they're popping or some shit, like, for example, the baby, like, you'll see him in LA for like a couple days and then you see that nigga at the crib for about a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, and that's probably the abnormality of it all. Like, everybody be at the crib. Like, you can do shit, but it ain't really shit to do unless you stay in Atlanta or some shit.
Yeah. And everybody is fucking getting high. Like,
yeah,
just getting high. Like, it's nothing.
I took some edibles this weekend. I was so fucking stoned. My wife can bake really well and shit, so she made like these cookies and shit. Some like caramel, pecan, marshmallow cookies.
Ask your wife, can I buy some cookies from her?
Yeah.
Like some edibles though. Like some of this exotic shit. These exotic cookies you be talking about. Like, you get the fucking brownies and you get a chocolate chip cookie. But like the shit you be talking about your wife be putting together be sounding like, first of all, a disaster because it sounds good as fuck. Then you put weed with the shit, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I was high as a bitch on Saturday. Like, cause one of my people, she had some butter and shit, so I just bought like a shitload of butter, probably like 100 grams of butter, some shit from her, and I had weed. So like, it's plenty around. Like
100 grams of butter is a lot of fucking grams.
That's a lot of fucking drugs. Or like shit you can make with it. You know what I'm saying?
So I be making butter, but I can never keep a consistency. Like, sometimes I make this shit, you know what I'm saying? That shit might be like, knock you off your ass. You know what I'm saying? With the edible. And then sometimes I make it's milder. I mean, it's weed, so it's going to catch up with you eventually. However, I need to figure out like how to get that consistency, but I might just buy some too. It's not that hard to make.
It's just I hadn't had one in a while because I'm more of a smoker. I'm a smoker. That shit, like, you just be high for mad long. Like,
Yeah.
that shit just be like it'd be like super intense. Like even when you smoke weed, like you know, like have the after effects and shit for a couple of hours, but that shit, but it's like it kind of lingers off, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like tapers off. You're not as high as you were when you first, like the first 10, 15 minutes that you smoke type shit.
Yeah.
But that goddamn edible, boy, that shit
Smoking is a decline.
Power.
Smoking is a decline, right? You get high, probably when you get high, like you said, in the first 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, you're probably at your highest. And then it starts to slowly decline. Now, it's not saying like fucking in an hour you're not going to be high no more, but it is. It's on a decline, whereas an edible is the total opposite.
This is a jump on your ass. When you just, all you feel is your fucking heartbeat, and you're like, what the fuck is my heartbeat? So like, oh shit, this bitch don't start working. That's when your digestive system start moving and grooving and shit, man.
Yeah, get the processing that shit up. And for you people who think that all you got to do to make an edible is put dry weed into baked shit, that's not how it works.
Shit is chemistry. Like,
yeah, you gotta extract the THC from the fucking weed.
It's online.
Like it's a process. Yeah. It's easy. It's easy, but you gotta have patience as well, unless you have a butter machine, because they do have butter machines. If you want to buy one of those, they do have those. What's the craziest thing you think you did off the edible? Or the crazy situation you think you ever?
I just be high as hell. Like I don't really do nothing.
You ain't never got like paranoid or fucking fell asleep somewhere else?
Nah, I don't fall asleep on edibles. Like them shits don't make me, like them shits keep me up. They like an upper. It's weird.
Oh, nah, like, not for me.
Like they're meaning like I'm slouched and stuck, but I can't go to sleep and shit. Like I'm not finna go to sleep. Like I took one at like 8 on fucking Saturday. Cause like I dropped my kids off.
And you ate the whole thing, didn't you?
Nah, I ate a half and then I ate another half.
Like a cookie? Like a size of a cookie?
Yeah, like a good size cookie and shit. And then I ate a half and then like 30 minutes I was just chilling. I think I may have had a beer. Nope. But I did. I just took that shit. I was just chilling waiting for that. Like I think with edibles, because you know they take so long, like you just be like focusing in like, okay, yeah, I'm about to get high. Yeah, I'm about to get high. And then you stop thinking about it because it's like 15, 20 minutes and you ain't high. And then like that 30th, 45th minute, your ass be like, oh shit. Like, and that's what it was like. And then in the midst of me not being high for 30 minutes, I goddamn took the other side of the cookie and then I was just up.
You know better. You know better.
I know, man.
You know better.
That's the wild shit. Them shit tastes good.
Facts. That's why I think like.
I be high. That shit is trash.
I think that if you make edibles, like you need to just make a duplicate set of whatever that is, like without the weed. Because like I said, the shit be good. Like if you're a good baker or you buy it from a place that, you know, like regardless of the weed, like this is a good fucking baked or gummy or whatever the fuck you into. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to make like a second batch because you be like, this shit good. And you just like, and it ain't working yet because you impatient as fuck. Although you've been doing edibles for ever, you still do that same fucking thing.
Still the same.
And I tell like rookies and shit, like chill, just give it a minute. You know what I mean? Like give it a minute.
Give it an hour.
Give it an hour. I agree. Give it an hour.
Like that shit gonna jump on your ass, like for sure. And then like we watched. Did we watch something Saturday? I don't know. We watched Meek Mill shit, like the movie that's on Meek Mill, not on Meek Mill, but that starring Meek Mill and produced by Will and Jada and them.
The Charm City King shit.
Shit was good.
That's a movie. I thought it was a show.
I did too. It was a movie. It's like a 2.5 hour movie. Meek did a good job. Like, I mean, he's not like an incredible actor, but he did a good job. Like, he wasn't playing himself. Like, he was playing like a hood nigga that just got out of jail that's trying to like do right.
So he played Meek?
Nah. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Pretty much. I ain't think about that part, but yeah. But I mean, it's good though. Like, but he was like bike, like, yeah, it's definitely Meek Mill. It's bikes and all that shit. But it's good though. About that shit. It's really good. It's based in Baltimore. So, you know, I didn't know Baltimore had a huge BMX culture and shit, but makes sense. So yeah, it's pretty good.
He had the accent? He had a Baltimore accent?
Yeah. Nah, he ain't had an accent, nah.
Was he supposed to be from Baltimore though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it didn't say if he was, it didn't say like he grew up there, but yeah, I mean, it was perceived that he was from Baltimore. Yeah. Everybody else was. that he used to run with niggas and came home and shit and all that shit. He had no Baltimore accent at all. It's good though.
It's worth 2.5 hours.
I mean, the way you look at shit is different for me. Like, I enjoyed it, so I can't really tell you what you.
Yeah, all right.
I liked it.
Okay, I got exactly what I needed from that.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was very good. Like, me and my old lady enjoyed it. So, but again, you have a weird palate for shit, so I don't be knowing.
Why can't I just have a different palate than you? Why I got to be a weird palate?
That's true. You got a different palate than I do.
Thank you. I appreciate
some
that.
See, it's weird.
Nobody has ever perceived my shit as like weird. That is crazy because we just always been different, me and you. You know what I mean? Like in the shit that we agree on, as far as like entertainment, it gotta be some great shit if we both agree on it. Like,
yeah, it was dope. I enjoyed it though. Check it out. Charm City Kids is, or Kings, I think. Based in Baltimore. It's kind of like Shy-ish because they got 3 little niggas and shit, you know what I'm saying? But these little niggas is a little bit more thorough than the niggas in it. Well, I can't even say that because niggas did shoot niggas and shit. So yeah, it's like that. It's like the Shy element, you know what I'm saying? It's 3 little niggas kind of navigating and, like.
It's your hood USA pretty much. You know what I mean? Like a hood USA.
Mm-hmm.
Because black people share the same stories. If you're in Chicago, Baltimore, fucking, South Side Atlanta, like, at the core, niggas be having the same kind of story of being in the mud, going through the system, trying to get out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you smart, you have that part where you're trying to get up out the mud. You know what I'm saying? And
there's something else I watched that I can't remember what the fuck it was. That was pretty good.
I watched,
Lovecraft. Lovecraft was fucking crazy.
Hold on, don't get to that yet. I don't want to get to that yet.
Super good.
I watched, so this weekend I told you guys I was going to watch, Lovecraft, which I did get to an episode of that. But before that, I watched, 40-year-old version, which was actually pretty good. It was a, Sundance movie that made it to, I'm sure you've seen the previews for that be here, or at least you've seen it on your, Netflix, when you log into Netflix or whatever. But it's like about this chick who was like a playwright or whatever, and she decided like before her 40th birthday, like, I want to put together like this mixtape and shit. And, her name was Rada, and that's her real name, like in real life. Like she's like the director and shit of this movie, and she wanted to make a mixtape, and she started working with like this DJ and shit. So it's hip hop, and she could spit. Like she could spit. But like in true Sundance fashion, it kind of don't. A lot of Sundance movies, in my opinion, they don't give you like the closure you need to kind of like wrap the shit up.
Yeah, it's like filmmaking, like the artistic side of it.
Exactly. That's what it is. And it, it's film majority in black and white. It got, has cutaways and shit like that. I think it's not very long. It's definitely not 2.5 fucking hours. But I would definitely recommend checking it out. Like I said, you gotta go in with the state of mind of knowing that it's a Sundance movie. But it's a Sundance movie. It's about hip hop. And, it's about a chick who can actually, rap a little bit. And I watched that this weekend, so I hadn't really had, how like you see something or you watch something and then that's all you fucking see. So like, now I see like different blogs and shit like that, like doing interviews with her that, are coming across my timeline. Blogs that I follow, blogs that I get the regular information from that I come to on these shows. But it's just very interesting because I'm like, I think this has been on Netflix for like at least a month. Now all of a sudden I'm just seeing it like everywhere, but I would definitely, say check that out. I couldn't watch Lovecraft Country exactly when I said I wanted to. And I started watching Ratchet. If you are a fan of like American Horror Story, if you're a fan of kind of like horror or things that, based or inspired by true events and shit like that, this would be a great one. It's about Nurse Ratched. And I don't know if you guys know about, I think it's from like the 70s, with, Nicholas, what's the white actor name?
Cage.
Not Nicolas Cage. Another Nick.
Nolte.
Hold on. It's the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. Hold on 1 second. I got Jack Nicholson. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Jack Nicholson. Yeah, I just remember Nick. Jack Nicholson. So he played in this in like 1975. And I actually want to watch this movie now that I started watching like this show that's supposed to be kind of like a variation of this movie. But there's a character in this movie, from 1975. So in 1962, there was actually a book called One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I had always heard about it. Like my parents used to say stuff like that. Basically when they was calling somebody crazy. Like, nigga flew over the cuckoo's nest. So now I know kind of like where that shit came from. But there was a movie in 1975 and there was a nurse, that was a major character in the movie called, Nurse Ratched. And so this show that's on Netflix, that's a series by the same producers of American Horror Story, which I watch. It's about like this nurse and she's in a fucking insane asylum and she's like manipulating these patients and shit to like do dirty work. And the shit is crazy. I only watched like 2 episodes of it, but I'm definitely going to continue to watch that. So if you into like drama, suspense, horror, I feel like it's going to be good. Out of the first 2 episodes that I watched, I feel like it was going to be good. But I did in fact watch episode and a half of Lovecraft Country. And I gotta admit, I'm in.
Weird as fuck.
I'm in.
So
in.
Weird.
And
so
I think
good.
the fact that all of y'all, prepped me, you included me, it made me wrap my head around it a little bit better because I ain't gonna lie, like, if I just would have saw like the first probably 5 minutes of that shit, I probably would have been like, nah, this ain't for me. Like I probably would have dipped because the first 5 minutes of it is basically, you probably don't remember because it was long ago now, but the first 5 minutes of it was basically like him daydreaming and like Jackie Robinson was there and it was aliens and
like all that shit just came not to fruition, but like that shit.
Don't spoil it. But give us what you can give.
Like to this particular episode. It's only this season finale comes on this coming Sunday and shit.
So it's what, like 10 episodes?
10, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That shit should win every award there is, bro. Like I'm not lying. That shit should win every fucking award there is. Like cinematography, the fucking graphics, the writing, the fucking. Like it's
how the fuck dude face look like he is from that era. Like the main character Tighe, he looked like segregation.
Yeah, he do.
Like he looked like a civil rights ass nigga.
Definitely got a nigga nose. He
definitely looked like he taking all of the air.
That's a lunch kind of nose. Shit is good. The shit is really good. Tighe does a good job. And then this shit is good as fuck, yo. Like that last, because like, I don't know what stock they got into, the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings, but it's a lot because the past 2 shows that they put out that are black shows, this and Watchmen, all discuss fucking Oklahoma City, like in the Tulsa, Oklahoma, not Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street bombings, because this particular episode is focusing specifically on it, like they kind of like go back in time and shit. Shit's fucking crazy, man.
So there will be time travel in this?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
That shit is, but it's dope though. That shit is weird as a bitch. But like this past episode was fucking amazing. Like I swear to God, like man, that shit was so
Jordan Peele. Could mix the things that he mixed.
J.J. Abrams, and it's really this black woman though. And hold on, I'm gonna tell you her name because this actually it came up today as a matter of fact. But
while you looking that up, so while I'm watching like the first episode and shit, like when the cop initially like rolls up on them when they're in the county where they say they have a sundown, I was just like, bruh, like look how little this nigga is. Like we don't have the technology that we have now, like where they got the body cams and all this shit, bro, we would have beat that nigga ass out that job.
Yeah.
It wasn't no way for him to chase us or no, or whatever the case may be. We would have had to rush that nigga and beat his ass. It was only us out there.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's just the power that they had though. Like, even if they did beat his ass, like, they like shit, they still got to, eventually somebody gonna find him. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
you go
it's
to
all
a
relative,
whole nother
though.
county.
Right. But it's all relative. And they would fuck up every nigga that came through that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's true too. But they gonna fuck up any nigga coming through that bitch anyway. So why not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I see both sides. I understand you, but like, it's difficult because niggas knew what time it was. Like, you still trying to live and you trying to get back home and shit like that. And he still got a pistol and you had to do a lot. But all right,
but what about when they was in the house though? Like when they was in the house after the monsters came and shit and they in the house and they got a nigga with one arm holding a gun on them. Yeah. Like, no, it's not going down, bro. Like, we fucking him up, bro. Like, we got the advantage. We fucking him up in this bitch.
Somebody gonna get shot, but fuck it. Somebody gonna take one. That shit was good as hell, man. But yeah, no, the writer of this her name is Misha Green. She's the writer of the show. She's the writer.
Is she the writer of the book?
I'm not sure. She's the writer, showrunner, and producer of Lovecraft Country. A lot of people are giving Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams credit for it. While they're co-executive producers of the show, they aren't the ones who deserve the most credit. Let's give a black woman credit when it's due. That was on Facebook. But so she's actually the writer and the showrunner and producer of Lovecraft Country. And she's a young black girl. Shout out to her. She's amazing. Because she wrote this shit. I don't know if she's the fucking author of the book or no, it can't be.
So Matt Ruff is the author of the book.
You say what?
Matt Ruff. Let's see if he white. Oh, and he white.
Really?
Yeah. MATTRUFF.
Yeah.
And he white as fuck.
But see, that's interesting. So, cause they got a podcast and everything that like is getting crazy numbers and shit cause it's doing so well.
It's like a recap podcast?
I don't know. I'm not sure. My cousin listened to it. I need to find out because she was saying like that they talk about me. Cause when I sent her to her, she was like, yeah, I've been through this. Like, she was like, they talk about it on the podcast. I was like, oh, okay. So, I'm not sure exactly what, the details of the podcast, but, yeah, but all that shit comes back around because I thought the action this shit is crazy. I won't spoil it for you, but
please
that shit is dope, man. That shit is really fucking dope. And like I said, I don't know what style HBO has in, Black Wall Street, but past two shows have highlighted it specifically. Like, this shit comes from the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings, and then Watchmen is based on the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings and shit. And it's like reparations, and black people are rich as fuck, you know what I mean? Because they got reparations kind of like similar to, slavery or 9/11, like it's like a payout and type shit, you know what I'm saying? That's how Watchmen is incorporated with like modern day superheroes and shit. Yeah. But the past two shows that have garnered a lot of attention for HBO have been focused on Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing, so it's just kind of interesting. I don't know.
Hey, everything black right now, right? Black selling right now. Black been selling all quarantine.
Well, these were filmed, well in advance of their release. Like, Watchmen came out last year and then this came out this year, so they had to film it and do it. So they've been doing. But
I'm saying they've been doing great numbers though. Like, all of this shit been doing all this black shit been doing crazy numbers in the past 6 months.
Though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm definitely ready to see what else is going on. Definitely got my attention. So far, it has not disappointed yet, and I'll definitely loop back around with you and let you know how that is going. It's such great imagery, man. It's just such fucking great imagery. Like, we are truly the greatest things on the fucking planet, and it just like it just puts it in. That shit's crazy, man. And then like it's so much shit to it. Like, they had Emmett Till and shit. That shit is crazy, man. Yeah, Emmett Till, the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings and all that shit, and like niggas' families, and then they calling out the names, like, of some of the people who actually own buildings and shops and shit, like real life names of these people and shit, like putting them shits on fucking TV for everybody in the world to know. That shit is just brilliant. It's just fucking brilliant. Like, it makes me proud to know that black people are like spearheading that shit. You know what I mean? Black people are fucking unicorns and we're fucking amazing. And if you are within the sound of my voice, don't let nobody tell you differently, period. speaking of being black, I had a meeting today, right? And I had to set up a meeting with somebody I had never met with before in regards to a project that's going on that I'm leading. And the name sound familiar. And I called, my one, well, I got 2 black coworkers that I'm cool with. I called one of them and I was just like, ain't XYZ a Proud Boy? And she was like, yeah, he done got sent to you a couple months ago when the whole Black Lives Matter email went out. Mm-hmm. And he felt like he was being discriminated against. And this is something in which my manager decided to handle before I could handle it. Right. Even though it's my job. So I was like, I got a meeting with him today. So this will be interesting. Right. So I had this meeting, with this guy, and I'm not going to lie. I kind of came in with preconceived notions on, how it may go. Right. And not that I thought it was going to be like, hey, nigga, how you doing today? You know what I'm saying? But I actually had a really good meeting with this guy. Right. And he helped me a lot, and he's on board for this like project, and just a wealth of information. And it was actually pretty good to be like a work meeting and shit, right? So I was just thinking to myself, like, we talk about code switching all the time. I talk about code switching all the time when you're at work and having to put up with shit and things like that, right? But I thought about it from like a white supremacist perspective, right? Like, how do you think a white supremacist like feels knowing that they pretty much have to code switch and talk to this damn black person or work with this black person? And it's okay for you to be like, do enough not to get in trouble, right? Like, I ain't gonna say nothing crazy.
Fucking Lovecraft, yeah.
And what do you think in the real world? How do you think how Proud Boys feel about shit like that, or just racist? Period. Like I ain't talking about the people who say nigga in the comforts of their home. I'm talking about real live fucking racist motherfuckers. Like, have you ever thought about like from their perspective? Not that we have sympathy. I'm just saying, like, do you think that is hard for them?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it is. I'm sure it is if you have to, tailor yourself for somebody on the strength or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, like if they do, then they can go back to their other, like in their office and then talk to their homeboys and shit, who are all senior levels, like, yeah, I had to go talk to this stupid bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking nigger type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably do the same shit we do. It's just in a different, it's more hate filled. You know what I mean? Like, we hate y'all and shit, but we don't inherently hate them. And they inherently hate us. So I'm sure it's difficult, but at the same time, like, they still on top. They still got power. Like, they still got power in terms of, corporate.
He was super nice. He was super charming. He was super helpful. I was like, you have a great profile pic, because his profile pic looked like some GQ type shit. And he turned on his camera. He was like, yeah, that's just a facade. Like, I look like this. And like, he had on a baseball cap going bald at the top and like mullet kind of like in the back. And like, he looked nothing like this picture, but like, he was super funny. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, like, like I said, I've since working at this company and knowing the dynamics of this company, I've never had none of the guys outright, disrespect me or anything like that. I just felt like he was like super nice, like way nicer than I expected versus this is business. Let me handle what it takes place, with business. So I was like, wow, like, so you become super nice. And then like later on tonight, you probably going to a clan meeting.
Yeah. I mean, he very well could like you. I mean, I don't know, man. That shit is strange. It's a very odd dynamic. But I mean, you can still like people and shit. Like, you can get along with you, but you can still know, like, as a people, I hate all them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad white people that I
But, like, so that's the thing. Like, I don't think that any of us hate white people.
I hate racist white people. I absolutely do.
Right, but that's not white people. That's not a blanket statement of white people. We hate racists. You know what I mean? We hate racists. I don't want to tell you how. Yeah. Well, I hate racists, period. But definitely racist white people, right?
Well, white people are the only racists. Like, because racism was implemented with basically a power structure. So nobody else can be racist. Like, I mean,
if we gonna get down to the
racism in
definition
America.
of racism, but let me rephrase. There are more than white people who can hate people based on their skin color. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing, like happening. We talked about the shit happening in fucking China and shit. And they fucking running Nigerians out and anybody with dark skin and all of this types of shit. Racism is all across the world. Everybody hates anybody with melanin. And then what makes it worse is that the lighter skin, melanated, then hate on the darker melanated in different countries. So, you know, anyway, that's getting deep into what we're talking about. However, I don't hate anybody as a whole group. I don't.
Yeah, as a category of people, no, I don't hate. I'm not inherently hateful, but I hate like white supremacists and shit.
Yes. So when we're going in and we're doing our daily work and things of that nature, when we find out things about you, we can dislike you, right? Like, I don't go in. First of all, majority of us work around majority white people. If you're anywhere in the corporate structure, unless you work at like FUBU or some shit, like it's mostly white people around for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Unless you work at a black owned business of sorts or whatever the case may be. So if we went around down just hating fucking white people, we would fucking be done by now. I wouldn't have made it this long. Cause like I said, I'm the only black person on my team. And I've had that situation happen over and over and over again. But you know, I just find it interesting because I feel like part of racism is just education and ignorance. Somebody told you some dumb shit about a black person and you went with it. You know, so if you're able to be nice and be cordial and be congenial and it's just me and you, it's a one-on-one conversation and you're all of these things, to me, the way my mind processes that is that it's how do you then go home and be like, yeah, niggas dumb, niggas lazy, niggas this, niggas that, when you meet black people all the time that defy those stereotypes. So that dichotomy to me is very interesting.
Right.
Because I think of those people as one or two ways. They're either fucking old white men who want to keep their money and mad that slavery is over, or they just ignorant fucking backwoods motherfuckers who were told something, true or not. Well, majority of it is not true, and they just went with that. So, you know, that was just very interesting, to me. While we were recording, last week, once we finished recording, you saw this fly made the news last week in fucking Pence's head, which, had the memes going up, and then fucking Trump bitch ass gonna cancel the debate.
Right.
We already called it that he was gonna fucking try to use this shit to cancel the debate. I just don't understand. Did you get any insight? Okay, it's Trump, so nothing makes sense. We're not trying to make it make sense. But did you get any insight to how he was saying that you could cheat virtually? Like,
nah, I don't think
I'm just like, it's the same format. Like, y'all just not in the same room. Like, they still asking the same questions. Y'all still get the same time to answer.
That nigga probably, he just don't want to do another debate. Who knows? I don't know, man. This shit is a shit show. This shit
is a fucking shit show. When are you going to vote?
I haven't decided if I'm gonna do early voting or day of. I'll probably do day of though.
I've been debating, but I'm just like, you know what? I gotta let go and let God, because whatever they're gonna do with the fucking votes, they're gonna do with the fucking votes.
Yeah.
Cause I want to vote early. And if it were any other election, I wouldn't have thought about it twice. I would have just went and voted early and not thought about it no more. But it's just so many agendas out here. Yeah. And I'm just like, fuck it. Like 3 weeks away. I saw something on Instagram where this guy snuck in and did like interviews with, the white supremacists and shit like that. But he did like an interview with like a fucking Mexican guy, which was, some of y'all really is fucking delusional, bro. Like, white people, I get it. You just dumb. But you down with a person that don't even fuck with you. How? Like, how does that fucking work, my nigga? Anyway, he did like this interview with like this Mexican guy, and they basically said all the shit that we've been saying on here. Like, it's going up November 3rd or November 4th, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, regardless, like, it's going up. Win or lose, like, it's going up. And I'm just like, what do you think that looks like to you? Like, in my mind, it's like the purge and shit. Like, niggas just gonna be outside like fucking wilding and shit. And then, you know, everybody else gonna have to defend themselves. What does it look like to you? Like, what does an actual civil war look like in your mind? Like, how do you picture it?
I don't fucking know, man. It's 2020. Ain't no fucking, who knows? That shit could be like, niggas could start dropping bombs and shit, and like, fucking aliens might descend from the fucking clouds or some shit. I have no idea, man. This shit, I just know it's gonna be a lot going on. I'm gonna probably chill for a couple days. I probably ain't going too many places.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm gonna just chill, you know what I'm saying? And be at the crib. If I do, I'm definitely taking my strap with me. Like, I don't want my wife going nowhere. Like, talking about kids, we don't really go anywhere anyway. I mean, outside of fucking my mom's house and to get something to eat. But, yeah, it's gonna be low key for me. But,
yeah.
In terms of what it's gonna look like, I don't know. But I ain't trying to see it. I'm gonna watch that shit from my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, it's
super
an
fucking
imminent
scary.
threat. You know what I'm saying? That's an imminent threat, like, from, like, everyday fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers is about to fucking mount up. You know what I'm saying? And in one way or another, it's like, what the fuck? And that shit is, I mean, we're already living in a terroristic society where, you know what I'm saying?
They was fucking about to kidnap the fucking governor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we live in a society where, like, you know, that shit is expected. And not expected, but you know, like, you know, when you hear some crazy shit, it ain't that crazy because you done heard it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, be fucking mass shootings and shit and all type of shit.
Yeah.
So, this is kind of what this country's founded on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just coming at varying degrees at this point. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Prepare, man.
Shout out to me. I finally got strapped up. So I got my shit. And the guy was like, let me get your ID. He was like, you wouldn't happen to have a conceal, would you? And I was like, yep. He was like, oh my God, you're my favorite type of customer. Like, give me that shit, cause you save me a lot of work. I was like, yeah, let me get my shit. Like, I was like, I gotta make this happen. And I guess me talking about it so much is actually, you know, got like my mom and sister, like, my brother, he already got an arsenal, but like my, you know, the females in my family are like starting to listen. You know, I know they think that I'm black and I'm militant and all of this other shit.
Can't deny that shit though. Like,
but I'm saying, listen, why y'all not? That's my whole thing. I don't even think it's militant. I think it's just regular concern about regular shit. Yeah, and unfortunately, this is regular shit now.
Yeah, you see the white people goddamn strapped up. Everybody got guns and shit. You don't want to not have one.
Yeah. So my mom is like, yeah, like going to figure out, you know, what she got to do.
Can't have one in DC.
She got one in Maryland though.
She really
right over the line. She right over the line into PG County. Like literally right over the line into PG County, in the Capitol Heights, now. So, she gotta figure out what she gotta do for like Maryland or whatever. And you gotta have like a class or something. Yeah. But I was talking to the people, in the gun store that I actually purchased my firearm from. And I'm like, so like, Do I have to register it? Like, she like, no, Georgia makes it real easy. And then I was like, oh yeah, they make sure that people had like their guns or whatever. So, she worked in the fucking gun store. All the people in the gun store are fucking gun enthusiasts. And she was running down the stats for me. Like, places like this where everybody has guns has less mass shootings and all of these other things. And, of course you're going to relay the information on the slant, right? The shit that works in your favor. And she was like, yeah, because one person comes in with a gun, they're not going to be able to kill with so many people because everybody else has guns. And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. But, how many, cause my whole concern is I could have easily went in this store, bought a fucking gun and left that day and went and shot somebody because I was feeling the way.
Yeah.
So it's like not enough. I mean, and that's the ongoing debate, right? Like gun laws or the lack of, and things of that nature.
You could have ran over somebody too. You know what I'm saying? Like vehicles are just another instrument of fucking or you could hit somebody with a bat. Like,
so you're the guy that when was trying to put together the weapons policy goes, anything can be used as the weapon. And I'm just like, yeah, but let's talk about things that are actually weapons first. And then if you decide to smack somebody in the fucking head with a computer, we'll deal with that separately. You know what I mean? But a gun is something like people kill people in throws of passion and things. Of course you can stab somebody. You can do all of that. However, if I'm fucking pissed off because they just made me mad at work, I can easily go in the store, buy a gun, return back to work and shoot that bitch up within an hour or two. And I'm just like, damn, like they don't do any type of, because I had to conceal, they didn't have to do like a background check type deal on me because that comes with your license. But it was great because I was able to get my shit together and I consider myself, somewhat sane. So but like thinking about it on the other end of it, I'm like, and that's a little bit scary, bro. Like, this can just go in without
any. You gotta take a class where you concealed either, right?
Nope. You just gotta pay the fee.
Crazy.
But you do get a background check. Yeah. You do have to pass a background check before you get it.
I'm just put my shit in July.
For real? Damn.
Yeah. Shit, wow. It's been like, they've been processing like 500 applications a day in Wake County alone.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember they was trying to push our shit back when I was telling you about it. They was trying to do all types of shit to make sure people wasn't getting their guns. They were only renewing gun licenses, not giving out new ones and shit. Like I see what's going on. Before you get into your black facts, I wanted to, give, shout out to the Georgia, elementary school that's naming their school after Michelle Obama. That's super dope. Because there are not a lot of schools named after black women.
Yeah.
And also a shout out to, your guy, Killer Mike for the Greenwood Bank.
And he got nominated for some, Billboard, like Change Angel Award too. Like the first
That's
one
awesome.
in history.
Killer Mike started or collaborated with a few others to do the Greenwood Bank, which is, a all digital bank, kind of like Ally. Shout out to one of my friends that work at Ally, but it's kind of like Ally. Ally is a totally online bank. A lot of these businesses are going to totally online. Like it's no brick and mortar besides like the headquarters and shit like that. But it's a digital bank and they opened up tens of thousands of new accounts on the first day. And it's supposed to make it easier for black and Latino brown people, black and brown people to bank and shit like that. So I thought that was super dope.
And they had 13 million subscriptions or requests since its inception or since the discussion of it. So like they have 13 million accounts, like something like that.
Oh, I didn't read that. I heard tens of thousands new accounts on the first day. Yeah. 13 million is a lot. Does Bank America have 13 million?
Hell yeah.
We gotta fact check that.
I think it was 13 million.
I think you might have fluffed that just a little bit. Greenwood Bank. Cause I did a little research before I, opened that up. Greenwood Bank, black owned bank. Tens of thousands within the first 24 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, whatever.
But he definitely got, he secured, you might be, confusing the fact that he secured, $3 million to start the platform. Was you thinking about that?
I don't know. I thought I saw 13 million, but it is a lot. But
yeah, that is a lot.
Shout out to my brother.
But shout out to Killer Mike, for that. That's pretty dope. You ready to give us a Bees Black Facts? Skibbity bee bop boom. Bees Black Facts.
I got this from Black Facts Online. Today they highlighted, considering that all the political shit that's going on in this world. They highlighted Cynthia Dolores Tucker. Steve Dolores Tucker, as a lot of us know her, most infamously known for the hip hop community, is the one who was stomping on
Tucker.
All the gangster rap in the early 90s, Tupac, all the Death Row shit, all that shit. She was the one stomping on that, basically, saying that it was vile and all that. A lot of that because she was a civil rights activist. She was a politician and an advocate for African American women. She was best known for her participation in the that was not worded right. Sorry. She taken strongly condemning misogynistic and violent rap lyrics. Tucker advocated for rights of women and minority groups in the United States. Some of her many accomplishments are: she was the appointed chair of the Pennsylvania Black Democratic Committee, first woman and first African, and that was in 1968. In 1971, she was the first woman and first African American Secretary of State of Pennsylvania. In 1975, she was the first African American woman to be elected as a vice president of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. In 1976, she was the first African American to be appointed as president of the National Federation of Democratic Women. In 1984, she was elected as the chair of the Democratic Party's National Black Caucus, co-founder and chair of the National Congress of Black Women. In 1991, she was established and served as president of the Bethune-Du Bois Institute, Incorporated, the life and career center of C. Dolores Tucker. So she was born on October 4th, so she recently would have had a birthday if she's still alive. I don't know. I think she is. It doesn't have a death date in here, but
I was going to ask. I was like, is she still alive?
I mean, she was born in 27, so she's old as shit. She was born in 27 in Philadelphia. Her father, Reverend Whitfield Nottage, was an immigrant from the Bahamas, and her mother, Captilda, was a devout Christian and feminist. Tucker was the 10th of 13 children. So she grew up in Philly, went to high school for girls in there, went to Temple. She majored in finance and real estate. And then after graduating, she attended the University of Penn Wharton School of Business. So she was very decorated, really dope black lady. Several firsts I named, so that was dope.
So I actually didn't know a lot about C. Dolores Tucker outside of hip hop. Like you said, in the 90s and shit, like all I ever knew was all the niggas was like, fuck C. Dolores Tucker. Like they did not fuck with her. So thank you for giving that information. She did pass away actually though in 2005 and she was 78 years old.
Okay.
Oh wow. So I wonder how no. It said, her husband, then it had like years beside it and it had like 2005. I'm like, wait, did he die with her? But of course, I guess after she's dead, they're no longer married. So that's what that meant. Or not, they're no longer married, but you can't count years of marriage after that, if the person is not here. But, shout out to C. Dolores Tucker, and I just looked her up, and it's the one picture that I always see of, C. Dolores Tucker. But yeah, the hip hop industry used to hate her. If you were of any type of age to be listening to hip hop in the 90s, they fucking hated C. Dolores Tucker just for that, cause she was, advocating for censorship and shit like that. So, but, thank you for that black fact. You ready to get into some leadership?
Yeah.
All right. Lit or Shit is our pop culture segment where we talk about all the fuck shit on your timeline. B already gave us some insight. He's high. Might join you. I've been drinking wine. I was drinking wine earlier. It was great. Wine has you super fucking in a different type of space. So, shout out to port wine, man. I love wine. But, giving y'all a quick update. This is not a story, but I just want to give y'all an update because I told y'all I was going to give y'all updates. Tory was finally charged. We talked about this last week, like, what the fuck? Like, ain't nothing happened. Like, it's just super fucking weird. So I guess, the powers that be said, all right, we're going to charge Tory Lanez. And he is facing up to 22 years in jail. He had an arraignment today, actually. And he's also, he cannot be around, Meek Thee Stallion, like, at all. So, I guess that's good for like award season and shit like that, where mostly everything is being, going to like an online format. Were you surprised to see them charges? Finally, after we just talked about the shit, like we just talked about this.
Yeah, man.
On the last show.
I wasn't surprised, but it made sense. Like finally,
it definitely made sense. It was just like, wow, really? Like that took long enough. But yeah, we don't have to litter shit that. We done litter shitted that enough. I just wanted to give y'all an update. But on to the first litter shit story. So y'all know that Dr. Dre and his wife has been in this divorce that, is getting nastier and nastier as it goes on. Dr. Dre's wife, Nicole Young, is being investigated by LAPD for embezzlement. So Dr. Dre's business partner filed a report to the police saying that Nicole stole $385,000 from a business bank account without authorization. Allegedly, this occurred in 2 withdrawals. Nicole is saying that she had the right to the money. Her name is on the account. It's a joint account, and she had legitimate reasons as to why she pulled this money out. If charges stick or charges are brought forth from the investigation, she could do time. Nicole's Young team is saying that basically, like, this is just a smear campaign and a PR stunt while she's navigating this pending divorce from Dr. Dre. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but there's been things popping up ever since this happened for the past couple months. With Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is worth almost $1 billion, fucking $800 million. Take into consideration as well that he and this woman have been married for 24 years and she birthed 2 of his 6 children. Is this embezzlement? What do you think about this story and just this divorces, I guess, kind of getting really messy?
Yeah, I pray to God I never have to go through none of that shit. That shit seems like the worst thing in the world, having to like split money and allocate this and all that shit. Like, I don't feel like doing none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you do? Would you just be like, here, you get this?
We just gonna
God forbid something happens.
We just gonna half. Like, I ain't got time. Like, it's just half. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's half. Especially if, you've been with a motherfucker 24 years, regardless of what you say. Like, they've definitely contributed somehow, some way. So unless it was a prenup, I don't believe in prenups personally, but like, unless there was a prenup, otherwise you just get half, and I'm gonna keep it hot. Like, I don't feel like dealing with all that shit. Whatever I got to do to get you out of my life is fine with me.
I think I think that it's all good until it's not. And I'm sure they loved each other. Allegedly, they had a prenup, and then some years into the marriage, they decided to get rid of the prenup. I 100% believe in prenups. If we don't have to use it, we never have to talk about it. That's how I feel. Like, if we never have to use it, that's great. Now, if you make more money than me and you got more money than me and you will always have more money than me, then of course I'm just like, fuck it. We don't need no prenup. But I'm with you. Like, 24 years, she made it. so that you could do whatever you did. She raised your kids. She made sure you know what I'm saying, your house was kept, or even if you had maids and shit like that, like, your wife still plays a support system. I'm sure y'all done talk shit through. She done had to deal with you through the bullshit. It's Dr. Dre, so I'm pretty sure, like, he done cheated on her. I'm pretty sure he done beat her ass once or twice, cause he's a fucking woman beater. That's clear. Multiple women have come out and said that about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has pretty much come out of a lot of shit squeaky clean. Even when we talked about, like, the NWA biopic that came out, where niggas was like, nah, Dre was portrayed as, you know, like this good guy, when, you know, all behind the scenes people and people who have had time with Dre, like, he not the nigga y'all really think he is, but he makes a good fucking beat. You know what I'm saying? Sis was requesting $2 million a month. What you think about that? What you think about $2 million a month? And she says it's to maintain the lifestyle that she's currently living.
You know, bitch, you ain't spending $2 million a month. It's impossible.
It don't matter if I spent it.
So
that's $24 million.
Maintain. What are you maintaining? Maintaining means that you're spending $2 million a month.
All right, so like take the $10 million house we live in. You know what I mean?
That's paid
we got all the servants.
So,
I'm saying I'm not saying if it's paid for or not. I'm not saying she fucking, well, if we're talking about half, 50-50 or whatever, like $2 million a month and that type money,
no,
like it ain't a lot of money.
I'm not doing this fucking song and dance. Like, you getting this amount of bread, I'm not giving you no fucking alimony. This is like, if it's to that point, like when I get to that shit, if pray to God I never did, but if I ever got to that point, like, I'm not giving you no fucking alimony. Like, if we have a substantial amount of money that we accrued as a fucking union, you can have your half. I'm gonna take my half and I'm out. Like, I'm not giving you no extra.
So you'll split with the 4. You'll be like, here go your 4. We out. I'm gonna keep my 4. Here go your 4.
Yeah, I'm not giving you no fucking money. Like, I'm not continuing to give you alimony and shit after that. Fuck that.
Yeah. What if the divorce? It doesn't really say from what I researched exactly, you know, why they're getting divorced. Is it just they grew apart? Is it cheating? Is it other things that possibly could have been a part of this? If something happens in your marriage and it was not favorable to you, would you feel differently? Like,
I'm not giving you no fucking alimony. If I give you half of what I got, I'm not giving you nothing. It's gonna be.
Would you be so willing to give up that half if she cheated on you? You still like, here go your 4 and you out. Because I think that's where the animosity comes in, depending on how the marriage dissolves.
If it is what it is, like, if it ain't no fucking prenup, then you short. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, I would try to argue and negotiate. Everything's up to negotiation, but even that shit get draining. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I got damn near $1 billion and I got 400, like, whatever, bitch, here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. As long as I can get you the fuck away from me. Like, if it's to the point where I feel like I have to divorce you, I don't think we're going to be able to reconcile and I don't want to be around you. Here, let me give you this so you can get the fuck away from me.
I definitely think, in this particular case or whatever, I don't know if her $2 million request is good, bad, or whatever, because I don't live that type of lifestyle to know what that type of lifestyle even remotely looks like. But, if I were Dre, for real, if not 4, I at least give her $250, have her sign an NDA saying that she cannot talk about our marriage or anything like that, because I feel like if you don't give it to her, she's going to get it. People want that story. People want to make that movie. People want to paint you as the villain that we all hear stories about. You know what I'm saying? So I would give it to her just to shut her up so she couldn't go out here and fuck up future money that I have. Like, here go $250. Even here go $300. Even if you have to give up the $400, I think cutting anything in half for me will hurt my soul. However, it kind of is what it is too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just look at it as a one-sided thing. Like, it's women out. I know women who paying alimony to their husbands because they make the most money. And that's another thing. Stop fucking with broke niggas. Stop fucking with niggas for their potential.
I couldn't fuck with. I
Don't
could
do
not
that.
like have a woman pay me. Like that shit would just seem so weird. Like my manhood. Like it's certain levels of pride.
Yeah, your manhood wouldn't have you open up your butthole last week. Your pride. Yeah.
I don't want no bitches paying me. Like I'm just if I couldn't get it, I don't like. I'm not. This ain't no fucking allowance and shit. Like we ain't together. Like that shit is wild. Like paying a nigga, man. Certain shit. It's just gender specific and role. There's roles and gender roles and shit. Like if your woman was getting money and shit, and you won't get no money, you don't deserve any. Like whatever settlement may have come about, that's cool. But to be getting alimony and shit as a man from a woman, that shit is wicked. That shit is wild. Like you.
The thing about it is. You gotta think about, you don't just become that nigga. You was always that nigga. You was always a bitch ass nigga. You know what I mean? Let me take that back. Cause I don't wanna make a blanket statement like that, because I honestly feel like if you are a man and your wife just happens to be, you know what I'm saying? Like your wife could be fucking, celebrity or millionaire or whatever, and she just liked you for you, and you was a fucking janitor or a mechanic or just a good guy, you know what I'm saying, and you with her and you help her in whatever ways to build up whatever she had or just to be the support. After that, I feel like you deserve money. I do. I feel like you deserve money.
Yeah, I'm with that, but you don't deserve no fucking alimony, my nigga. Like you ain't gonna just be sitting there like fucking couch potato ass nigga, like having a woman take care of you. I'm not with no woman taking care of me, so it's no way to slice it for me.
Women, y'all shouldn't be taking care of niggas either.
For sure, I can't do it.
But you know what? I feel like, honestly, like talking or speaking with women, like a lot of women I know, and a lot of women that I run in circles with, and they make good money. They have good jobs, you know what I'm saying? And they've, you know, had, different circumstances and things of that nature. And when it comes down to it, they're just like, some of them are just like, look, I got money. I know that most women are looking for men to be like providers and shit like that, but I got my own money. I'm just looking for a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like there, and I don't want to necessarily call it settling, because people put different emphasis on different things of what they want in their life and what they attracted to and all of those types of things. But I do feel like women right now is just like, look, I got my own shit, you know, strong black women. You know what I mean? And they just like, look, I just want a nigga that's gonna fucking treat me right, that's gonna come home, that's not gonna be out here doing fuck shit, embarrassing me. And I feel like that's kind of sad at this point in time. Like, damn, like, bitches just want a halfway decent nigga. Like, that's it. Like, the standards are being so low right now. Like, you know, before it was like you needed a man to be a provider, and you needed a this and you needed a that, and you know what I mean, not only do you need a provider, you need to fucking blow your back out, and he needs to damn be able to fix a car and chop wood and go carry and do all this shit. Where women now are just like, look, I just want a nigga that's not gonna embarrass me and treat me nice.
Shit, some bitches that ain't worth a fuck too, though. Like let's, in terms of the battle of the sexes, like it's a lot of.
I mean, but if we gonna talk about roles, you brought up roles, gender roles and responsibilities.
Bitches ain't cooking and shit.
But are they not? Let me ask you this: is the bitches not cooking, and this man is doing all the shit, and the least she could do is fucking cook? Or he ain't shit either, and she ain't.
I mean, it's a bunch of just. I don't know. I ain't been in the game in a very long time, and I'm fortunate and I'm happy because I couldn't imagine having a date and trying to find some hoes and shit, and a wife, and for a woman to try to find a nigga and shit when you like 40, like 37, 38 and shit like that. Well, you meet a nigga then. Like, you got a whole bunch of fucking years of ain't shitness, or ain't, you know what I'm saying? Or a bitch that ain't got shit going on.
But I think that's the pro and the con, right? So as an unmarried person and shit, that there's pros and cons, right, to that shit. I think the pro to the shit is by the time a person get in their mid-30s, this is who the fuck they are. So you have a better kind of gauge of being like, can I deal with Cause we all got our shit, right? Can I deal with these fucking traits? And I feel like by the time you in your mid-30s, you know what your career is, you in your career, you know what your trajectory is. You ain't out here like in your fucking 20s and you just like, oh, he's smart. Oh, he's strong. Oh, he can bounce a ball. He could be this. By the time you in your 30s, you who you fucking are. So it's kind of like going to fucking CarMax and the fucking, price is right there on the sticker. Ain't no negotiating. This what the fuck you got. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Versus when you younger and shit and you just like, I hope this person becomes this. I like their intelligence. I think they're going to do this or I think they're going to do that. It works both fucking ways. And for me, I kind of like the fact that you know what you want. By the time you in your fucking 30s, you either got kids or you know if you want kids or not. The clock is ticking. So you ain't got to decide like if you want kids. Most people know who they are in their 30s. And I feel like that makes it better, in my opinion, as a single person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that kind of makes it better. And if you ain't shit in your fucking 30s, you know that motherfucker ain't shit.
True.
And unless they found a way they've used these 30 plus years to figure out how to disguise that shit even better. So that's the pitfall to that as well. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's what it is. But, you know, I think it takes out the guesswork. My philosophy is I always say this, like, I don't feel like nobody should get married before they fucking 30. Like, cause you don't know who you are. You're constantly changing. You know what I'm saying? And if you're able to, I know, I'm trying to think of anybody outside of yourself, cause you got married in like, when you were like 27, right?
I was like
27. Oh, you were like 29. Okay, so you were still close to 30, you know, when you got married. So that was good. But like anybody who I know who got married in like they early to mid 20s are all divorced. Everybody I know. Yeah. I mean, in my age group, not like my mama and them and cousins.
I
mean, like
in my age, still together. That was early 20s.
And they got married when they was in 20s?
Yeah. My sister got married when she was 22. Since they're 20. She's been married for 20-something years.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's
my
awesome.
Homeboy, he stayed up the street. He got married when he was like 24. Granted, they had a lot of shit going on in their marriage, but they still together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I know quite a few people that have been together, you know, from their 20s and to this point. I also know several that have, you know what I'm saying, that haven't made it, but I mean, you know,
it's 50-50 and it's what you decide to put into it.
Sure.
Yeah. It's about what you decide, you know, to put in it, because I don't care who relationship you looking at. That shit ain't just been smooth sailing. Relationships are work. You have to put work into them. Not saying that it gotta be fuck shit going on in your relationship either. You don't have to deal with like infidelity or motherfuckers treating you bad or shit like that. It could just be like money issues or how we raise the kids, or, you know, we just hit a patch where we getting on each other's nerves right now, but you have to continue, to work through those types of things. I think that, Dr. Dre should pretty much, you know, go with your philosophy of it. Just give the woman the money. She been there 24 years. She deserve it. You can make more money. You ain't about to spend $400 fucking million in this. Like, let me take that back, because niggas go broke every day. But more than likely, you're not about to spend $400 million before you die. Your children will still have wealth. I'm with you on it be like at a certain dollar point. I'm willing to just get it over with. However, if I got married, I'm definitely having a prenup off bucks. And I just call it like insurance. Dr. Dre getting divorced. And his wife being alleged embezzler is little shit.
Shit.
Yeah, I think that's shit. I hate when divorces get messy, because it's just so crazy just how love works. And if you're married, if you know y'all just dating or whatever the case may be, like the person that you love the most, you hate they fucking guts.
It's a
thin line
between love and hate.
Hey, it really is. Speaking of thin lines between love and hate, Big Sean took shots at Kanye mess. this week. Or last week, actually. So Big Sean recently took shots at Kanye West, on the Benny the Butcher song, Timeless. I actually heard the song. It is a pretty good song. And I always hear about Benny the Butcher. I know you sent me something about Benny the Butcher. I hear about him, but I haven't really listened to him. He's a New York rapper, right?
Yeah, from Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, upstate New York. Big Sean talked about how he signed a slave deal. And in the song, he goes, signed a slave deal. Now a nigga owning my masters. Watch me turn good into great. It's the first steps to everything, even leaps of faith. He says, swear it's labels with that BS. Or, well, he said, with the B's that owe me M's. And to them, that shit is like G's. Niggas ain't a G. Greed is a disease. So he basically said, nice. Yeah, he is. And you know, I always tell you that Big Sean grew on me after I think like Hall of Fame or something like that. Like at first I wasn't buying in to the whole Big Sean thing. Like I liked his music, but I just didn't think he was like super nice like that. But Big Sean is definitely nice. But he talked about basically Good for you guys who don't know. Good is Kanye West's record label. Kanye West's record label has like Tiana Taylor. It has who else is on Good? It's Tiana Taylor, it's John Legend, it's Big Sean. He got some high quality talent on there. For sure that he's not doing anything with. So Big Sean also talked about on the Fat Joe show how he was struggling, when he signed his Good deal in 2007. The legend goes, he rapped for Kanye outside of the radio station. Kanye signed him, and that was back in 2007. He said Finally Famous, his first album, actually didn't, arrive until 2011. So Finally Famous couldn't have been the album. It was whatever that album was.
Finally Famous was his first album.
Right. That I wasn't sold on Finally Famous. It was like an album or two after that. Anyway, that came out in 2011, but he got signed in 2007. And Joe asked him, you know, basically how was he paying his bills? And he said, I heard your advance or something like that was like $50,000. He said that Kanye only signed him for $15,000, my nigga. Like $15,000. Now this man can't even have his own masters, and he signed this deal for $15,000. And I know he done gave Kanye so much money over that. And this comes after Kanye West tweeted in one of his fucking, you know, rants, that he was gonna give all good artists 50% of their masters and all this other shit. And Big Sean was like, oh, that's great. And some of the other artists said, great. Oh yeah, Pusha T is on that joint too. On there. It's crazy because Kanye West claims that he's worth $1.3 billion. Has a nigga ever owed you money and walked around flossing? And then taking your fucking money?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you do about shit like that?
Man,
like you just be chilling?
Nah, definitely not.
You like, fuck you doing at Carowinds, bitch. Like you owe me fucking money.
Yeah. Like what's up with my bread, nigga? Like I had hell no, I can't do that. That shit, my damn pride. Again, my pride won't allow me to just let a nigga like slide on me. Even if nigga, I mean, I can't do nothing to you until you pay. You know what I'm saying? Like I can fight you and shit, but what's the point of that? Like I still got to get my money at the end of the day. Like I might beat your ass afterwards. Like I done did that, but like nah. I mean, you know, ain't no point in putting my hands on you because you still got to get me the bread. You know what I'm saying? So until I get my shit, but I'm gonna remind you consistently. You know what I'm saying? And then certain times you just, you know, pay a motherfucker to get out your life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
yeah,
millions and millions of dollars. I'm not, you know, obviously you got to take your gripes with it, but
sure.
I never really had a motherfucker owe me millions and millions of dollars. So, I don't know how that, but.
You wasn't Dame Dash and Lee Daniels out here, huh?
Right. For sure.
You know what? You know, one of the things I was always taught is Never loan anybody money you can't afford to lose. You know, and I take that. That's one of the things that I've always taken with me regarding money. And I actually don't loan out a whole lot of money. Not money where it makes me uncomfortable. I never loan out anything that makes me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I think the most I probably loaned a nigga was maybe like $500 or something like that. I don't really feel like I loan nobody anything like more than that. And I really haven't. I've had individuals that were slower to pay me back, but if they're slower to pay me back, then if it's not on the time frame in which they said that they were going to pay me back, then I'm probably not going to loan you any more money. You know what I'm saying?
No, probably too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've never had anybody just flat out not, pay me back. Like, I think that was one of the things, you know, like my dad always told me, and I always tell y'all, like my dad told me, like, never let anybody know how much you make. Cause whether you know it or not, they're going to find a way to spend it for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I always took with me. Did you say you tell your parents how much you make? Who knows how much you make? Just your wife? Or does your wife even know how much you make?
Yeah, she knows. She definitely know. My parents don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Do you let your parents and shit know, like, when you get bonuses and shit like that?
Yeah, but my mom, we got a strange relationship in terms of money, so I don't really fuck with them on no monetary shit. You know what I'm saying? I do to them when I can, and when I do for them a lot, but motherfucker done did some dirty shit to me and shit, so I just be, you know what I mean, side-eyeing the fuck out of niggas.
Yeah. So it wouldn't even, they probably wouldn't even ask you for no money. Or they do ask you for money, just like,
my mom be doing like underhand, like my mom is crazy. I love her to death, but that motherfucker is nuts. She be doing like underhanded, like she would ask my kids or some shit, which is lame as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom be doing some weirdo shit.
Ask your kids?
Yeah, like she'll say some shit like, yeah, tell your dad, you know, that grandma wants X, Y, and Z instead of just asking me or some shit. Like, and I don't be inclined, like, I'm not fucking having my kids do your bidding. Like, fuck out of here. Like,
and your kids are little, so it's not even like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you going to like your 20-year-old son saying, yeah, tell your daddy, whatever. You going to like a 7-year-old.
It's manipulative, and I don't like that shit. My mom is, he has manipulative tendencies, and I don't care for people who try to manipulate people. Like, my mother and I
feel on that.
Feel like that shit is whack, so. You know.
Yeah. So, my mom told me once, because I asked her a follow-up question about some money one time. That's why she don't ask me for money. And I'm sitting there like, okay, am I supposed to be hurt by that? Like, am I hurt because you ain't gonna ask me for no money, my nigga? Like, what the fuck? Like, thank you, my nigga. Like, but you know, I do for my mom, you know what I'm saying? And she don't ask me for money. She don't. So that makes it better because I can just give her bread or, you know, whatever the case may be. Cause my whole philosophy is your money is your money until you ask for my money. Now it's our business. What's going on? If you don't want me to ask no questions, don't ask for my money. And that applies to literally everybody. You ask me for some money, I'm gonna be like, I mean like significant money, not like, hey, give me $50 or give me this, I'm about to go in the club or I ain't got it on me. Like some bullshit, you know what I mean? Like whatever, but if you like, yo, like call me on some, look, I need this now, that means you got yourself in a fucking bind. I wanna know. That's part of the stipulations to my money. Like, that's the Bank of America. And you're totally inclined to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. And that's totally your choice. That's your choice. But if you don't fill out the forms, you might not get the loan. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's my bank. I make up the rules to my bank. You might want to go to another bank. If you don't like the rules of my bank.
You got 3 other banks in your fucking family. Feel free to reach out to them.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my mom don't ask me for money, but I also, you know what I'm saying? Like, they make, I love my family because they make all types of assumptions about what I do. Not what I do, but like how much money I make and, you know, all of these things. And I've never divulged. Like, even at the very youngest of getting like fucking summer paychecks and shit, summer job paychecks and shit. I was never like, look, I have $127. Like, look at this shit. Because that was one of the things that was ingrained in me. And like, when I looked around and I saw it, like, when I say a motherfucker will help you spend your money, it might not even be a, hey, let me get this. it might be yeah, so Lord such and such got this going on, you know, can you donate to this? Or now, you know, we going to this and you can afford to go, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, in black families, there's always some sob story about somebody in a GoFundMe type way. You got it. Oh, you only gonna give 50? You can't give 100? You know what I mean? Like shit like that. So I don't even put y'all in a position to say anything or try to spend my fucking money. And I love the fact that the type of job that I have, you know, money can range all over the place. You know, I was talking to one of my friends, who is an engineer. So I have friends with fancy titles, you know, engineers and therapists and doctors and shit like that. Your title, you could be damn, an attorney and be fucking, public defender. But because you're an attorney, niggas gonna assume you got fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna call you out on that money. Talked to a friend, they was just like, yeah, you know, they think just cause I'm an engineer, like I got money, and they do have money. You know what I mean? However, you know what I'm saying? They don't like that because, you know, they don't know if it's for the love or it's for the accolades. Cause I've had female friends come to me like, oh girl, he a this. And they just caught up with this nigga title. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hear this, and I'm gonna be Miss Doctor, I'm gonna be Miss Engineer, I'm gonna be Miss da-da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? They all hype about the shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but he could be like, not a good person, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they in it for that, and I applied for this job at Chick-fil-A corporate, and I wanted that job so much, just so I could say, I work at Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? Motherfucker gonna be like, fuck, bitch, what? You work at Chick-fil-A? Like, they automatically gonna think I'm fucking working the fries or some shit. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I just wanted to say that so I could see what people's reactions are. Like, word? Like, you got these degrees and you working at fucking Chick-fil-A? Like, I just wanted to see that type of reaction, but I'm conflicted as well. I don't know if I want to work for Chick-fil-A, even though they have amazing fucking chicken and amazing fucking customer service. But you know, you can't be getting into them cult-like companies that had like them Christian values.
Oh yeah, nah, cause they make your like kids work there and shit and all that shit. Like it's like my wife homeboy, he used to be like a district manager for fucking Chick-fil-A and shit, and he was like that shit because she was talking about trying to get one. You know what I'm saying? Like try to franchise. He was like, yeah, you can get in, too. But he's like that shit. You got to be selected, and it's like a it's like a super triage fucking, you know, election and all that shit. That shit wild. He's like, your kids got to work there, and then they got to take on the business and all that other shit, which, I mean, obviously it's not a bad business to take on, but I mean, I want to do that shit, you know what I mean? And
right.
There's just a lot that goes into it.
You can't make your kids take over the nugget empire if they don't fucking want to.
It ain't, you know what I mean? Ain't simple.
Yeah, it's too much. I don't, you know, I'm pro separation of church and state anyway. You know what I mean? Like, don't force your shit on other people. Even if I believe the same shit, I don't feel like you should force that on other people. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that. And you know, we always letting Chick-fil-A slide. Chick-fil-A always low key in some fuck shit. They don't like blacks. They don't like gays. They don't like none. They don't like none of that. But we keep buying this fucking chicken because they so polite with it. And the shit good as fuck. Mm-hmm. Like Chick-fil-A stay under the radar. Like they'll pop up and then they die back down. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody fucking trying to give up this fucking good ass pickle soaked chicken.
Yeah.
That they fucking cooking out here. This pickle juice chicken.
Extra pickle meat.
Hey, that should be so fucking bomb though, bruh.
Yeah.
Like so fucking, like I had Chick-fil-A, bruh, I had Chick-fil-A 3 days in a row one time. And I didn't even realize it until my mom brought it up. And she was like, oh, you know, just having regular conversation. What you eat? I was like, yeah, you know, I had Chick-fil-A. I had a salad that day, but it was still fucking chicken. She was like, damn, you ate Chick-fil-A 3 days in a row. I was like, I guess I did. Like, right. And I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, like, I'm totally okay with having Chick-fil-A.
And then they give you free shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
Bruh, the Chick-fil-A up from my house, give me something at least once or twice a week.
Yeah, suck your titties or some shit real quick. Like, before they put it in. What? Type shit. That's how they fuck you, man. Like, give you mad Polynesian sauce. With you? And, like, give you, like, bonus points, like a free ice cream or some shit.
Listen, for real, they stay giving out free stuff. I told you, I went to a Chick-fil-A one time because I like they fucking market salad or whatever. And so I was just like, you know what? Instead of going to buy this shit all the time, I'm gonna just make this shit is just salad and got fucking, fruit in it and chicken and shit. So but I was like, I need the topping packets. And I went into Chick-fil-A and I was just like, hey, how much is it for the topping packets? If you would have went to McDonald's, them niggas would have been like $1 a piece, or 50 cents a piece, or $2 a piece, or something like that. Cause it's like granola in that bitch. It's like some nuts in it. I don't know. It's like a whole packet they give you. If y'all get the Chick-fil-A salads, which are amazing. It's pretty much ain't nothing bad at Chick-fil-A. But, they was like, how many do you need? You crazy.
It's weird. It's fake grill marks. What's wrong with it?
I get the grilled nuggets all the time.
Yeah, they ain't grilled though. They just microwave.
Yeah, I mean,
where the grill marks coming from? It's weird.
I don't know, but I'm still eating that shit. But it just I'm like, I'm definitely eating the McGrill.
Like, who grilled this?
They definitely didn't put the shit on the grill. It's pre-grilled.
Sharpie on that bitch.
Well, listen, it could be easily like some motherfucking, I told you one time I was eating fucking Salisbury steak. And, a friend of mine was just like, so you eat meat with painted on grill lines? And when I say I felt like this big, I was like, shit, I do eat meat with painted on grill lines on that bitch. And I feel like, it's shit that you might not, actively say I'm gonna do, but you subconsciously, like, I don't feel like I've bought Salisbury steak since then. Like, the Salisbury steak out the store, like the family packs, I don't know, Swanson, a banquet or whatever them shit says. But we used to eat that shit all the time in my house and I love that shit. And I was like, damn, like fake fucking grill marks on that shit.
And mad sodium.
Like, yeah. But I should be having mad sodium in it, man. All that should be having mad sodium in it.
True.
Oh, shit. I don't even know how we got to Chick-fil-A, my nigga.
Let's give some advice.
Right. I was just like, how the fuck did we get to Chick-fil-A? Big Sean and his, slave deal is leadership.
Shit.
Yeah, that shit. Give that nigga his money. Kanye, stop being the new fucking Puffy. Stop being as bad as the white man, but he's worse. His fucking campaign video came out talking about write him in. Like, bruh, I can't give him no more grace. I don't give a fuck if you fucking nuts. I don't give a fuck if you just Uncle Ruckus. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but it ain't no way in hell you gonna win this election. So why are you trying to get people to split this vote? That's fucking sad. And Kim, I'm looking at you with the fucking side eye. Y'all know that they have, it's rumors that, divorce is imminent. Even if they get a divorce, I want to give them a shout out because they lasted way longer than I ever expected. So, I don't understand how this is going on and how he's doing it, but y'all please do not vote for Kanye West. Not even if you think it's a joke. A lot of times, like when you hear about elections and shit, you hear about like the joke ballots that were casted. Why would you stand in line for a fucking joke? Like fucking making Ronald McDonald and shit president. Like, come on, use your vote. But that shit is shit. Excuse me, I apologize, y'all. Let's give some advice, like B Hill said. We about to get into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. Ain't Shit in 2 Cents is our listener letter segment where we give advice to people who clearly don't care about taking advice from high people and people who are wine drunk. Today's letter comes from Anonymous, and Anonymous states, I'm facing a dilemma that you two may be able to help me with. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Roswell, Georgia. Shout out to Roswell. That's not very far from where I stay. I'm from Roswell, Georgia. She says, my mom is a nurse practitioner and my dad owns and operates 3 auto body shops. I had a very good, right. Cause it's like
Roswell too. So that shit is affluent, right? Ain't that affluent?
Yeah.
Like it's a nice area.
It's like a suburb. Yeah. And then it's definitely a developing suburb. Like that shit is fucking expensive now. Just like any other suburb right outside the perimeter. But yeah, so she got money. And you know, nurse practitioners make great money. They right under a doctor for real.
Yeah, them niggas doctors.
Like, I don't even know why you just don't become a doctor. Right. I don't know what the requirements are because you can do basically everything that a doctor can do.
Yeah, they get it's a master's degree in nursing, right? That's what nurse practitioner is, right?
I know that their duties are different. I don't know exactly the educational requirements, so I can't even get the line about that. But I do know that a nurse practitioner can basically do everything that a doctor can do outside of a surgery, for real.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
She said, I had a very good upbringing. There was nothing I ever wanted or needed. My dad and I have always had a great relationship. I'm the only child and his princess. My mom and dad had a storybook relationship. The kind I tried to model my own relationships after until recently. My mom received a Facebook request from a guy claiming to be my father's son. He stated that he didn't want anything but to get to know his dad. My mom thought it was a joke and confronted my dad with it in a joking manner until my dad almost turned pale from the shock. Long story short, my dad confessed that while he was stationed in Korea 28 years ago, he got a local woman pregnant. He said that the woman's father was not thrilled and forced the woman to stop seeing him. He stated that he knew the woman had the baby by word on the street, but he didn't know how to contact her. And he came back to the States, and that's where he met my mom. Now our whole family is upside down. The fact that this man went on about his life and started a new family and never once mentioned the fact that he had a son is deplorable to me. I have lost so much respect for my dad, which makes me very sad. I am not only sad, I am very, very angry. I think more angry than sad, but my mom is just downright hurt. She thought she had one of the good ones, and me too. My dad was the prototype in my eyes. This happened almost 2 months ago, and no one has replied to this young man. Says, hold on, I lost my spot. Oh, no one has replies to this young man. I guess they're trying to figure out what to do. I have used COVID as a way to honestly stay away and not deal with it. What would y'all do in this situation? Is my dad just a fuck boy like the rest of these niggas? Should I reach out to my half fucking Korean brother on my own? I know y'all are not therapists, but any advice from a neutral party would help. And it says, Love Anonymous. That's some shit right there. Yes. And when I read that, I was like, shit.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, I've been in this situation. I come from pretty much the same situation, not necessarily from Korea, obviously, but, yeah, I mean, I would certainly suggest that you reach out to your brother. At the end of the day, y'all have a bond that is like no other, good or bad, who knows? But if nothing else, I at least reach out and try to establish a relationship, because at the end of the day, y'all are innocent bystanders in this whole thing, especially him. You too.
Sure.
You know, you certainly have, you know, a good part of it, but he was super, again, I've been him, unfortunately. So, yeah, so he shot a fucking huge shot in the middle of the ocean, and it luckily landed. But at the same time, I think he warrants enough respect to at least be acknowledged. So
yeah,
if nothing else, like the adult shit, you're an adult, but the adult shit from when they were adults, like, and you were a child, and that shit, you can't really, you know, that ain't nothing that you can contend with or you can deal with or anything. What you can control is what you can control. And if you want to establish a relationship with your brother, I certainly would, at least throw the line in the water and see if he bites. If it comes of it, if it comes something good, it will, because I'll tell you again, I have fucking a million brothers and sisters and shit. And I was raised as an only child. And out of, I guess
how many of y'all is it?
My mom got 4, and my dad got 4. So, and then I got 2 stepsisters. So I'm only close to like 2. One of my, this shit is wild, but, I met my father's children when I was 23. I got an older sister who's 7 years older than me, and I got a younger brother that's 6 months younger than me. And then I have a little sister that's 5 years younger than me on my dad's side. I didn't meet any of them until I was 23. My older sister, who is very much like me in a lot of respects, we're very close as we can be, obviously living in Louisiana and not growing up together and shit like that. So, but we talk, at least once a month. We always text, and, we do talk. If we don't talk, it's, usually a hour to hour and a half long conversation about just most whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just sister brother shit. And then, when my brothers and my sisters on my dad's side, I don't talk to them. Like, I don't really fuck with them. A random text, it's been a bunch of hurricanes and shit down there. So I'm, sending some love. Then I have on the opposite side, on my mom's side, I got two brothers and shit that I recently just met in Thanksgiving of last year. And it's another wild ass story. Again, I told you my mom was wild. So I met them, and one of the two brothers I'm pretty close with. One I don't talk to at all, really. He's like super weird. And my other brother, the younger of the two, he's super cool, very much like myself. So, say all that to say, reach out to the stepbrother, or the half brother rather. Try to establish a bond. If it works, let it work. It's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, it's fine too, because you tried, right? And he tried, and you gave it an effort. But at the end of the day, like, you never know. Like, you always want to know your brother, because you very well could be in fucking Korea and you are going to be attracted to yourself, and you can fuck around and fuck your brother. And that's some dead ass serious shit, because my homeboy did it. My homeboy almost fucked his sister. He didn't know he had, additional siblings until he was about to beat his sister, and his dad walks in the door, because his dad was fucking with her mom at the time. And then he was like, oh shit, I got something to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and this is no bullshit. This happened.
That is some after school special
they was on the train
shit.
in New
crazy.
York. He had been talking to a girl for a couple weeks and shit that he bagged. Like I said, fast forward, they went on dates, whatever. This was go time. It's third or fourth date. It's fuck time. Traditionally that usually is the case.
Yeah, true.
So he's, preparing. She in the bathroom or doing whatever. She getting more comfortable. In walks their dad. Dad says, son, what the fuck you doing here? He like, Dad, what the fuck you doing here? And
that is wild.
Super
I'm
wild.
writing this script.
I'm telling you, and so he like, oh shit, I got something to tell you. And it's wild because my little sister on my dad's side and my older sister are very pretty. You know what I'm saying? To the point where not on the weirdo shit, but they're something, you know what I'm saying, that I would be attracted to. Had I not known that,
Trump with it.
Not known that they were my sister. You know what I'm saying? For real. It was one, I remember when it was the third time
I'm not attracted to any of my siblings.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up with it. But I mean, I'm just saying,
I feel you. I get you.
You look it's you looking in the mirror. So you're going to be attracted to, if you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? If you hadn't, mind you,
that is the most conceited thing I've ever heard in my life.
What?
You just said, you looking at yourself, so of course you're going to be attracted.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just calling it what it is.
Nah, that's the reality of it. You're going to be attractive to what you see. It's certain features and shit that you know what I'm saying, you see. And it's just damn. It's weird. You have to be in that situation to understand it. But yeah, I remember the second time I saw my little sister, I was like, yo, she is gorgeous. And I thought about it yo, if I was fucking down here, you know what I'm saying, and grew up in this fucking town, it's very likely that I would, you know what I'm saying? I done had a lot of women in my day, so it's very likely that I could have fucking bagged my sister on some weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? And my older brothers on my mama's side, they went to college together and didn't know it. It's super weird, super country. It's fucking wild. But they went to the same college. Them niggas are a year and apart from each other and shit. And my younger brother, he was like, bro, I'm so glad that my brother won't no girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I very well could have fucked my sister. You know what I'm saying? For real. And I'm like, yo, that shit's some real shit. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna goddamn do a DNA check on some ancestry.com and yo, let's make sure our DNA don't match before we fuck. You ain't finna do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. So,
that is so wild.
It's the wildest.
That is some shit right there.
Super shit. So, now that I've divulged all my fucking business, whatever. But,
whatever.
But yeah, so yeah, just, reach out to the
What
people.
What should she do about her dad? What should she do about her dad?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Guys, I feel alright, so with the whole thing about your brother, I feel I do feel like you should have a conversation with your father and be like, look, this is what I'm about to do. But you know what? I take that back. That's it. That's if you feel like you owe him that respect. And right now you don't fucking
Only
Know
thing
this nigga.
you owe yourself and you owe your brother something. Like the acknowledgement of him, like getting over his shit and reaching out. Because again, that shit is a very hard thing to do. Trust me.
Did you have to do that?
Yeah. I called my pops
You
multiple times.
initiated that.
Yeah, I called my pops. My pops was a fuck nigga. Like he was this piece of shit, selfish motherfucker. Like I called my pops like 3 different times, and then how we even got like connected and shit was my mom was like on one of her like higher drunken tirades and ended up calling his house. I remember because I was working at Blue Cross and I was headed to fucking Asheville for a fucking benefits fair. My mom called me like, yeah, I just called your dad and she's like, I called your dad's house earlier, your real father's house earlier and shit. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, so I left a voicemail and I was like pressing on the machine because I was in my feelings and I was high and I was a little drunk. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, so your little sister called me back not too long ago and she wanted to talk to you and shit. I'm like, man. So like I'm 22, maybe 22, 23. Yeah, I think I was like 23. Yeah. So then like I had to muster up the nerve to fucking call, you know what I'm saying? And then I called and then I talked to her, my little sister, and who was, I'm 23, she was 18. Like she was just graduated. She was in college. She went to LSU and shit. And then she told me about like my brother and my older sister. And then I called my older sister. And then when I called her, she didn't answer the phone and shit. And then like I left a voicemail like a fucking weirdo. And then like super nervous. And then she called me back.
Leaving voicemails do make you feel weird.
Super weird. You know what I'm saying?
Days.
Like
it's a weird
especially
thing.
that like, hey, this is Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Like for real,
Brandon,
like, you know what I mean? And brother. I'm your brother and da da da. So she calls back and she's crying and shit. And then she like, yeah, I remember you when I was 7 because she's 7. She 44 and I was 37. So she, she remembered me. Like obviously I didn't remember her because I stayed down until I was like 2 or 3. So she remembered me and she remembered my mom and shit. It was just crazy. So that was that. And then again, I had to deal with this shit last year, this time. So it was just wild, man. It was just, so families is like, kids have no idea about their parents until like their parents get old and then you start just having like real life conversations and shit. And then, like my kids, whenever situations arise, I guess I'll, insert kind of some of my, own life experiences. But at the same time, you got to kind of keep your superheroism, you know what I'm saying? And that you don't do no wrong, but at the same time, you also don't want to lie to your kids. So again, that's where parenting is difficult because it definitely makes
an art and a science, man.
Yeah. I'll be looking at my mom like, you crazy as hell, but I still love her. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's wild.
Because every personality is just so nuanced. So you got to tackle each one of your children differently in order to be effective. You know,
shit is just, So needless to say,
okay.
To answer your shit, reach out to your brother. I don't know about your pops, just whatever. Whenever it's nothing that I can explain to you. You just gonna have to like address it. You know what I'm saying? Because like my sisters and them, they never really addressed it with my pops and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what they did, to be totally honest with you. But I don't think they like really addressed the shit ever. Like, why you ain't do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really.
Do you feel like y'all reconciled? Because your pops passed.
Yeah, right? He did.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Nah, we didn't. Like, it was not like, it wasn't on no fuck shit. Like, it wasn't on no like, I'm just not like, I'm an asshole and like, I was about to be an asshole to him, but I'm like, for what? Like, I had a great life. Like, so actually I'm gonna stun on your ass. Like, so then it became like me kind of like stunting on him, but I'm just like, but then it's weird because it's like, at the end of the day, like, it's weird. Again, you looking at a motherfucker that looks just like you and shit. So it's like, but he don't talk and shit, you know what I'm saying? And like but he was a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? He just was a fucking weirdo and shit. And he never like, even after that, like he never like, initiated anything. Like he would never call me like that or like he would, at anything he would get like his old lady to call, like my stepmom, I guess if you want to call her that. Or his wife, I'll call her that. But he would get her to call and shit and kind of do his bidding and like, hey, just checking on you, see how you doing, after 25 years, shit like that. So it's nothing really that he can say or do, you know what I'm saying, that would appease me type shit. Because like, that shit's crazy. My life is nuts. But so nah, I mean, but when he died, it's crazy because when he died, like he died from stomach cancer and shit, and like the whole time he was sick with cancer, I never called him and none of that shit, like, cause He ain't never called me. Like when I had my kids and shit, never called me to congratulate me. And this was like like after we've met and shit. Like he ain't called me to wish me happy, congratulating my kids was in preemies and shit. They was in the hospital for mad long. None of that. Like never called. So I was like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to Louisiana, it was never for him. It was always for my family. Like I got mad family. I got mad aunts and uncles and cousins and shit. Brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews. Like a huge ass fucking family. So like it was more so to establish relationships and bonds with them. And so I really won't like tripping on him necessarily. So, but when he passed and shit, like it was wild. It was the wildest feeling because like the unconditional love still comes in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
So it's like that connection is there.
It's there, regardless, and you can't sever that shit if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird though because it's still because he died on my birthday, right? So like he died.
Damn.
Not on my birthday, but he died April.
I was about to say plot fucking.
I mean, my birthday is April 5th. He died on April 1st. You know what I'm saying? Like he died 4 days before my birthday and shit. So like, meaning, and his funeral was on my birthday, or it was on the day before it was on the 4th or some shit like that. So, and I already had a trip planned to go to Mexico because it was my fucking birthday, and I still went. Like I didn't cancel it. You know what I'm saying? Because
damn.
He would. I told him he wouldn't have did it for me.
He wouldn't have did it for you?
Nah, he didn't. He wouldn't have done it for me. So I was like, and then
I ain't even mad at that for real.
Nah, I mean, I keep him the same energy, my nigga. Like, but I spoke to him. Yeah. I spoke to him right before he died and shit. And like he was sick with cancer and shit. So he was in hospice or whatever. And like shit was so wild that like my older sister, he was in Houston, which. They live in Baton Rouge, which is like 4 or 5 hours away. So basically like driving from here to DC or whatever. So, she had gone up there because, potentially his last few days. So she wanted to see him and, whatever. And, so yeah, I called him and shit. I called her and just so happened that she was about to leave the hospital. She was like, divine intervention is some wild shit. So I called her. She answered the phone. She was like, did you want to talk to him? I'm about to go. And I'm like, shit. He's like, yeah. And then, it was a conversation and you could tell that like by me calling him, like you could tell he was like, oh shit, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go. Like type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It was wild. That shit was crazy.
Damn.
That shit was crazy, yo.
Damn. Word. You was Uncle Charles at the crossroads.
That shit was crazy,
Listen.
bro. I fucking broke down and shit. And I was good after that.
Damn.
But like that was.
After that, did you feel like a weight was off of you?
That was probably like March, maybe 27th or 26th or some shit like that. And he died on like the 1st or 2nd. It was either the 1st or 2nd he died. But yeah, so I talked to him but I didn't talk to him from the time at that point to the time that he died. But like, yeah, shit was crazy, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Shit was wild,
so
life's nuts.
Damn. So that shit was wild. Yeah. But listen, you standing, my guy.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
You have a great family.
That's a fact.
You are a prosperous dude.
To God be the glory.
And you're a good guy. You know what I mean? So,
I think that's what killed him more.
You persevered through
Honestly,
all
that killed him more.
Yeah.
Like, he sees this fucking guy that, like, he had no partying outside of, like, fucking my mom. And, like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit would be wild. Like, looking at, like, I got boys and I got girls. Like, and if I, like, didn't see them and then, like, they show up looking just like me and they fucking doing well and shit and got all that shit would kill me even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, this nigga doing good as fuck without me. Like, that shit is lame. So, I think.
But you know what? I can play devil's advocate on some of that and be like,
you need me.
Motherfuckers might be like, so I don't feel as guilty as I should because they turned out great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, nah, nigga. Like, I grew up with my mother and my father. But I just can't. It's interesting just to hear your story because I know why, like, my connection with my dad is what it was and with my mom what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up with them. So when you say like that connection is still there, and this guy literally, based on what you explained, like really never did shit for you.
Didn't.
Outside of supplying the material.
He gave me $30 3 times for child support.
$30
randomly as fuck.
3 times.
Nigga, shit was crazy, bro. Like, That nigga was a wild nigga, man. God bless his soul. But shit, I know when he got to the game,
$30 like, for 3 days.
When we got up to see God, I was like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck? What you doing with this
Who
nigga?
the hell left the gate open?
Like this nigga over here, like you got a whole son, my nigga. Like you ain't like remember that $30 that you sent on the X date? He probably was like, man."
Remember that $30 for 3 days?
I hope you got in there. But shit, boy. If you didn't, I understand why not too. So,
you're like, either way, like, either world.
I hope you get in there. Cause, you know, I don't wish bad.
Oh my God.
You had some explaining to do. That's a fact. Once you've seen, who was it? Who at the gate? Is it Gabriel or David? Who at the gate? I don't remember.
Uncle Charles, y'all.
I don't know who at the gate. St. Pete? Is it St. Pete? One of them niggas. Gabriel.
Peter. Yeah, St. Peter.
Is St. Peter at the gate?
What St. Peter do?
You don't know. You a heathen.
Oh no, I think he got promoted.
You don't know.
At first he was on fries. And now he made it to the gate. So, I don't know. Yo, Anonymous, all that would be he'll just say it. And I feel like you should do whatever you feel like. If you don't feel like talking to this nigga,
reach out to you.
Then don't until you ready. I'm talking about her pops.
Oh yeah, your pops. I don't know.
And if that's what I was saying, you can't correct my shit, but that's not what I was saying. But, yeah, you know, I think you talk to your dad whenever you feel like it. And I feel like, in 24 years of finding out something like this, you deserve time to get to that point where you want to talk to him. You love your dad. So I feel like eventually y'all gonna talk, and hopefully you find out something that can make you look at your dad like, I don't know, like he human again. Like, because if you just lied to me.
Make mistakes. I mean, and I'm not giving him any grace or any mercy in regard to that. But like, if cultural bond, like the cultural, like shit, like if he couldn't really do a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? Like in Korea, I don't know what the parental rights are and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
But the problem here is the not telling. That should come up. That's the problem there. Yeah. Like, not that this happened to you, like that you let us believe that you were this person. Yeah. And a kid is something that's ever growing. It's not like, oh, I got into a car accident because I was drunk driving, but I ain't hurt nobody. I ain't gotta tell you that. But if you found that shit out, you're like, nigga, why the fuck you didn't tell me that? You got a whole kid that's a living, breathing thing, like out here in this world. And you so content that you didn't feel like telling me something like that significant. That's significant, bro.
I get it.
That shit crazy. But Anonymous, contact your brother. You know, this too shall pass, I feel like. And eventually you'll have gained a brother, and hopefully, you know, you can guilt your dad for a little while, get him to borrow you. Y'all got money, get him to buy you a Lamborghini truck or something like that out there at the Buckhead dealership.
Yeah, because her telling him about the profession had really no bearing on anything that she was talking about. So she was like, what? Not like looking back at it, like this shit had nothing to do with the price of your child. Yeah, my dad's in this practice, my mom's in this practice. Mad Carlos. But the real reason I'm calling is because I have a fucking brother in Korea. What the fuck?
That was a
what? Okay, let's talk about that. This shit was wild.
That is a wild movie, like, now that you done broke it down.
That shit has nothing to do with anything.
Let me run down my resume to tell you how blessed I am, to show you how I don't deserve anything
like,
happening.
Are you going to, like, does he fix cars in Korea? What the fuck?
Listen, this girl is upset and heartbroken. We cannot clown like this. We sorry, Anonymous.
No,
we love you, girl.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for writing into the show.
But we get money too. The fuck?
We got a 401k.
Damn, I got a mortgage. Motherfucker try to stunt. You ain't no nurse practitioner.
I got a mattress. She did say what she did.
Yeah, what the fuck?
She said, I'm rich, nigga. Like, hey, did you see the videos with the dude, he asked the people, what they do for a living? Because they drive like these crazy cars. Mm-hmm. And the white lady was like, he was like, what do you do for a living? She was in that fucking Maserati truck.
She was like, I'm married,
She's
bitch.
so fucking sweet, right? She was like, what? I'm married. Like, is there any other answer? Like, the fuck? Like, what the fuck
you talking? Nigga, I'm married and shit. She said, her name Tina Marie.
Hey, she did look like Tina Marie. Oh my God, that lady did look like I was about to say Tierra Marie. Tina Marie.
She looked just like it.
Hey, Tierra Marie, they got skinny too.
I ain't saying it.
Yeah, she done got super skinny. So I don't know if she switched from like alcohol to harder drugs and lost all that weight. But her body don't really give me I got my body done type skinny. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know how these women getting, shit smushed around and transferred to other places. But she don't look like that. So anyway, hope you're good, Tierra Marie. Y'all see that rabbit hole we just went down?
I told you. Just hilarious. Sean hilarious.
All right. Here we go. Getting back on track. So back on track. Thank you for writing in. Y'all know where we at, the ancientshow@gmail.com. If y'all want to write in and just get some advice, then get roasted and then have them go on a tangent and come back to this. So now we're going to wrap this baby up with some free smoke. And I'm glad free smoke today is just fun, because I cannot, like, you took me on an emotional roller coaster there, B, earlier.
Yeah. Imagine being there. Being on that roller coaster and never being able to get off. That's me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was, you painted that really, really well. But free smoke is where we talk about anything we want to, like we've basically been doing this whole show. But yeah, politics to petty. And today, free smoke was inspired because I saw, One Must Go on the internet. And I was about to, text it to you, B. And I was like, nope, this is what I want free smoke to be about tomorrow. Cause I got a couple of them I wanted to ask cause I feel like I got some good ones. But it's just basically the game of one of these must go and you must say why. So can I go first?
Sure.
All right. So B, one of these must go. And if this person goes, everything attached to it goes. Okay. Future, Drake, Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross.
Meek is he's out of here.
That was easy for you, huh?
Super easy.
So no more dreams and nightmares in the spot.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I like Meek.
No way, man. Like, no Rico.
Yeah, I can't listen to a lot of Meek. Like,
yeah, that is true. I just feel like Meek got calmer, but then he been doing this music on like the internet and shit. He been dropping that's been straight butt to me.
I seen like a couple freestyles. Shit where he used
the auto tune.
I liked a couple freestyles he did, but again, I'm fine. Like I ain't.
You was like easy, no sweat.
Yeah, for sure.
I went through this with myself, and I was like, it would definitely be between Future and Meek Mill. And I'm not a huge Future person, I don't think, until I start thinking about the songs I go off on that Future does, right? Because Future always kind of got one out there all the time. He got like Chris Brown.
He made March
Chris Brown always has a song on the radio. Yeah. And March Madness is like the turn up song to me.
Yeah,
I fucking love March Madness.
That's a great song. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah. So, after going through like that, I was like, yeah, I can let Meek go because I actually just became like a Meek fan with that album that came out like right after he got out of jail. So I can let him go.
Yeah,
easy.
For sure.
Easy. If you had to take one more out, who would you take out?
Future.
Yeah, that was easy. Yeah. Cause we definitely can't get rid of that other shit. All right, what's yours? What's one of your drinks?
For you, it's DC related. So Howard,
okay.
carryouts. Damn, what the fuck? I had shit on my mind. Hold on. It was Howard, carryouts. God damn. The mall. What's the nice mall up there? Not
Pentagon City.
Pentagon City. and Go-Go.
Damn. I would have to go with Pentagon City. Because
So they got Fosterville or whatever was the name of that other hood mall in PG County. That's the dope mall. The nigga mall. Yeah.
Forestville or Alberton Mall?
Forestville, I think.
Yeah. Forestville is kind of like it's kind of like Forestville gives you kind of like what's the joint? Northgate. Yeah, it gives you Northgate vibes. So the best, the most hood malls always have the most shoe stores.
Right.
Sneaker stores. So that's why I love the hood mall.
Yeah.
Like, I would take a hood mall over a Lenox Square any day.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
All right, so change it. Instead of Pentagon City, do Forestville.
How you gonna change it? All right, what?
So Forestville, Howard, carry out, and what I say? Forestville, Howard, carry out, and Go-Go.
Go-Go. So then it still got to be Forestville because I didn't grow up in Maryland. Okay. So, you know what I mean? So that wasn't a mall that I like frequented until like my mom and them moved over in that way. So I'm not as attached to that. But yeah, like you can't get rid of carry out because if you get rid of carry out, you get rid of mumbo sauce, and that ain't happening. You can't do that.
Right.
Go-Go is the whole feel of the city, so you can't get rid of the heartbeat. And then, you know what I'm saying? Howard University is Howard University. It has produced this world. You know what I'm saying? So
what if I replace the mall with Marvin Gaye? Marvin Gaye is from fucking DC.
Why would you replace the mall?
Because that's hard.
So your goal here is just determined to make this hard where I pick one of those other three things. No, it's going to be Marvin Gaye. He already gone.
But he would never have been creative. Never did none of the fire shit.
Sexual healing.
Right.
Yeah.
You might not have been here if it weren't for Marvin Gaye.
You know what?
Call your mom. Like, your mom.
Maybe not. No, I would never.
What was y'all song of choice when y'all was getting to it? Yeah, Let's get it on. Let's get it on. What time? When did that come out? I think that's around the time that I was born. Think about it. Your ass. If there was no Marvin Gaye, it would have been no you. You know what I mean?
And that's back then when you had to have like a fucking listen to the radio and shit.
Yeah, that shit, nigga.
Or you had an 8-track or a cassette.
You was born in what, like 79? That's when that shit came out, man. Marvin Gaye. You might have been able to get it on. If you want to know Marvin. You better take away Go-Go.
Listen, my parents got married when they were 17 and 18 and had me when they were 20 and 21. Like, nigga, they had energy for all that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Had enough. 4 kids.
Look, I'm moving along. We're not about to talk about my parents having sex. We're moving the fucking along, okay? All right. I'm about to stomp you right here, my nigga. Listen. Harriet Tubman. Martin Luther King.
I was going to do one like this.
Obama. Michael Jordan.
Obama got to go.
What?
Yeah. Obama ain't this shit for black people. Outside of like inspiring hope. All the rest of these people did shit for black people.
Okay.
Specifically. Like, specifically. Like,
okay.
Harriet was a tough mother. She created a whole genre of fucking exercising. You know, Martin, he was fucking bitches, saving the world.
This alternate history is factual, but it's
real nigga.
I don't be saying that in the bio at all.
Mike, you know, greatest basketball player of all time, changed the world, made the greatest
sneakers. Widest pants in history.
Greatest sneakers of all time.
Greatest sneakers of all time.
Impacted my life way more than Barack Obama.
Okay.
That's me.
Got you.
It was a good one, but that was me. Yeah, get Obama. If he would have did something for niggas, I would have probably kicked out fucking Harriet. Not true, but he ain't do shit.
You definitely wasn't kicked out.
Harriet went to Canada and came back and got niggas
on foot without no Jordans on.
Yeah, Right.
with motherfucking whatever.
Nigga, she went by the first time she ain't had shit, nigga. Nigga went barefoot, nigga. It was cold. That shit was crazy.
Nigga, I don't even like to get on my hardwoods cold.
That's a fact.
Listen how bougie we got as a people.
That's a fact. Fucked up.
Bruh, like, first world is fuck. Like, I'm sorry, ancestors. Yeah, y'all made this. We're the worst.
And we can't even go vote. Trash. Shit. That nigga was running to Canada barefoot to get the vote.
Damn, and we can't even vote. That's real. Up. That shit is real. Go, what's your drink for me?
Oh, soul food, Mexican food, Asian food. I already think I know the answer. And Italian food.
You already know the answer to that.
Asian food, right?
Asian all right, we'll take away Asian.
Take away Asian.
No, stop moving the goalposts.
Just take away Asian. Scratch Asian. So Italian, soul food, and Mexican food.
Oh, man. That's hard. Those are like all of the most unhealthiest ones. And you know, the unhealthiest ones are the best ones. Shit. Okay. So I don't want to say this because it's going to hurt my heart, but I got to go with Mexican. I got to go with Mexican.
Oh, right.
Because
so how often do you eat Italian versus Mexican? You eat Mexican food way more than you do Italian.
Yeah, I do.
So it's got to be Italian, right? Like,
because Italian food is normally a heavier food. Like you can get Mexican at lunch. You can't really get Italian at lunch.
I know. That's why you gotta get. That's why I go. So you can live without it. You can't live without it. But that's
why it's even better because it's like the Luther on the Boondocks. Oh, it tastes fucking better. Like.
Shit do be busted.
Like if I gotta pick red sauce over salsa and like all calories are equal, like I'm going with Italian all day.
You can't dip over Mexican, but pita chips and fucking red sauce.
But you can dip fucking garlic bread and marinara, my nigga.
That's some good shit.
Hey, your face went, yo, you went there. You went there. You was like, yeah.
That's some really good shit. No lie. That's some really good. Like, that's the conversation. What is better?
That's a conversation.
What is better?
Is that the real conversation?
A fucking goddamn chips and salsa or breadsticks and marinara?
Breadsticks and marinara all day.
I don't know about that.
You gonna be full as a bitch.
So with queso and shit, with the Mexican queso, like you got a salsa platter of salsa and fucking queso.
Wait, no, you just ganged up. You just put 3 on 1, bro. You just ganged up a triple platter with the salsa and the queso and the guac.
I don't do pico and guac, so you can have that shit. That shit is disgusting. But
so it's just what? It's
queso.
Just chips and
the
queso?
White queso and with the salsa, and you know how you can mix them bitches together. So you mixing the salsa and the queso together.
No, but I still feel like, all right. But if we move in the goalposts as you've been doing, then we got to make it garlic cheesy bread, dipping it in the marinara.
Now you're talking freaky. now you getting more horny out there.
Hey, you so fucking stupid, man.
Now you talking freaky. That shit is fire though. That shit is like, nigga, like Crazy Bread from Little Caesars. Nigga, they got the most fire fucking cheesy crazy bread ever.
Oh, man.
I just go to Little Caesars for the crazy bread. Keep it at the band. Like, cause I stopped eating that shit. I don't be eating that shit, but my kids love Little Caesars and shit. So I go up there and get a piece and shit. Man, I get some crazy. I forgot how fire they was. I got something like 2 weeks ago. Nigga, me and my mom was fucking them shits slam up. That shit was amazing, man. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't go to Little Caesars often because I don't know. I don't never want Little Caesars until I'm looking at the fucking commercial. I'm like, damn, Little Caesars do be busting though. Like, they really do. But the times I've had Little Caesars, They always be good. I haven't had a bad pizza in 2 years.
Should be like $6.
Even though it's only been about 4.
You get a big ass fucking pizza and you get 2 pizzas for $5 or $10 and some cheesy breadsticks for like $11. You'd be like, man, this shit is amazing. I'm telling you, bro.
You like poverty where? Yeah. You can feed a whole family on 12. On 12 bucks.
Nigga, I get fucking 2 pizzas and some cheesy breadsticks and make me a salad.
And gotta have a salad though.
Pizza buffet. Hell yeah. And shout out to CC's for closing around here. CC's is the worst shit I've ever tasted in my life.
Shout out to CC's for closing.
Yeah, there's one up the street. That shit closed. That shit got hit by the COVID. I wrote about it. I was like, damn, CC's closed. That shit fucked up. But I mean, their buffet, like niggas ain't finna fuck with no buffet during the COVID. You know what I'm saying?
The COVID. Yeah. No,
I'm not fucking grabbing utensils and shit. Like it's impossible to keep them shits clean. It's already a nasty fucking petri dish anyway.
Damn.
Like if you think about buffets though.
Yeah.
Like you grabbing
but you know, I feel like you eating at a buffet in the COVID is
that shit is wicked. Like you got the sneeze bar.
That shit is wild.
I mean,
like I said, if you eat in gas station hot dogs during COVID,
they only sell them there.
You wild.
Like every gas station I went to, they don't have all the hot bars and shit.
But nah, listen. Everything's on limits in GA. Okay, everything is on fucking limits. Like you in the fucking QT, fucking Quick Trip gas station, and the line is right by the fucking hot dog joint with the taquitos and shit at. You know, it's Quick Trip, so they got like 6 different things rolling on this damn rolling heater thing, and people are just standing there doing whatever they do on their phone, moving their clothes, coughing, everything. And then you go by like, get you one of those.
Yeah, I used to be a gas station hot dog nigga in my savage years. I've since grown from them days. Thank God.
Listen. Now, I think I've had one. I think I've had one in the last year, probably. I think I have.
A gas station hot dog?
Yes, I have. And listen, I'm gonna tell you why.
At least it was like sheets.
If I get a gas station hot dog,
okay,
I'm about to say. No, I've got one at Quick Trip too.
Oh, wow.
I've got one but not like a random gas station, like one of them restaurant gas stations, like a Sheetz. You know what I mean? Like them joints.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still a gas station hot dog. You know what I'm saying? It still was rolling on the shit.
Oh yeah,
you know
I can't do that.
And I had one of them joints.
The glizzy.
And it's because it's late and I'm fucking
nigga had a glizzy.
Drunk. Like I gotta eat, bro. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you what's the funniest thing, right? My sister has a random fucking picture of us on the FaceTime and I'm eating a hot dog. And she just posts that shit at random fucking times. One time she made that shit her background. I was so pissed.
That's all. Fresh with the glizzy.
Hey, yo.
You probably had your eyes closed.
Hey.
She was in that bitch.
I was like, where did you fucking get that?
Like, chill.
All right, listen. I'm about to give you one more and then we wrapping this joint up. All right. Shit. Do you want to go with stress relievers or never invented? Those my categories.
You got a coin. I'd say flip a coin. I don't know. Either one. Whatever you pick. Don't matter.
All right. Boom. One of these things was never invented and everything that kind of goes along with it, except for like, never mind that last part, but it goes away. It was never invented. Hip hop, sneakers after the initial Converse, GPS, or the internet.
Well, I'll say GPS because I just use MapQuest how I used to get around before. I just go by my own turn-by-turn navigation shit. And that's how I used to do it, which is wild. Because when I was going to Asheville, my mom called me about my pops. I was looking at some fucking MapQuest to make sure I won't miss my fucking turn. That's funny. All that shit comes full circle. But yeah, I definitely love sneakers. So I definitely have to, like,
can't be coughing these days.
Yeah,
you know that.
Shit, you can't even have a cold.
Right,
like, I'm so scared to get a cold. Like, I don't want no cold.
Facts.
Like, you can't even have a cold.
Facts.
Like,
you can't have nothing this whole season. You can't have literally nothing this whole season.
Whack, shit whack.
Hey, listen, I have two friends that different friends that are going through something and in the hospital or going to the hospital for surgery. I just want to take that moment to say, you know, our prayers to y'all and pray for my friends. And shit is going on is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of shit going on in this world, and just make sure everybody like handling it the best way that you can. Cause this world is going on. I ain't even trying to bring down the mood, but I was just like, God damn, like it's a lot. Backtracking. But I said the same thing about GPS.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I said the same thing. I was like,
I mean, I can get a map out.
Cause we had to live like that, like pioneers back in the day, and forged to get to, you know, the other side of town. Trailblazers. All we had was printer paper that we printed out at work before we came home.
That is a fact. You be mad as hell. Like, I remember I used to, like, bro, I used to goddamn go back to work. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm not finna, like, for one, I can't be lost in two, goddamn, like, shit. I ain't finna pay I ain't going to fucking Kinko's and, like, copy this shit out for 47 cents. Kiss my ass. I'm going to turn right around and spend $3 to go back to work. Fuck that. Ridiculous. Nah,
bro, like, you're absolutely right. Like, bro, I'm putting this off, and then you got mad as fuck when you, like, so it had like the turn by turn, but then it also had like the map, and if you didn't hit the right version, like, cause we didn't want the map, because we couldn't follow the map anyway, cause we dumb as fuck. So we just needed the turn by turn.
Right.
And then that shit be like fucking 14 pages if you was going out of town somewhere.
That shit's wild, man. Dang.
So you had to be alert the whole time and understand what.
Like, I was like, yeah, this motherfucker like, yeah, it's a map shit called MapQuest. Tell you how to get there. Like, oh shit, hell yeah. Like, that's crazy.
Listen, somebody, probably the writer the person who writing the letter, that's 24 years old is listening to this like, what the fuck was going on back then? Yeah. Like, why did they have to live like that?
Yeah, to print them bitches out, Jack. Turn by turn.
You had to print them joints
arrows out. On them bitches and shit. That shit was wild.
And then you had to turn around and shit. But listen, when I tell you my grandfather, my father, and, you know, like the men in my family could go from like fucking DC to Mississippi, that shit is wild to me. Like, going to different states and shit like that. Bruh, I'm gonna tell you this. If I did not have at least a MapQuest, anything before MapQuest, I would probably still be in DC right now. I don't know how to read no fucking maps, my nigga.
Nigga, I remember not my first, well, as an adult, like when my old lady was up there, like when we was like kind of split up, but we would go kick it with each other on the weekend. Like, she had like one of the first GPSs and like trying to navigate through fucking DC, nigga. That shit was fucking ridiculous. Like, and that was
and everything is a fucking
the buildings was jamming them shits and shit, man. That shit was
and cars can't hardly get down the damn street because it's cars parked on both sides.
Yeah, and then you know they got them fucking ass lights and shit. Like, that's fucking on the street, like on the ground, on the curb and shit. Like, just, that shit was stupid. Like, how the fuck don't y'all have fucking lights hanging high so people can see them? Fucking shit heads.
Listen, I love my city, but that is one thing I do not love. Like, that's what I thought. So that's what I told myself when I moved to Atlanta, because it's different when you come to visit Atlanta versus you live in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you coming on the weekends and shit and everything lit. So you think like, oh, okay, they be having traffic because everything be lit. But shit always lit, my nigga. Yeah. And it's always fucking traffic. Right. So I was like, oh, if I can get through traffic in DC, I can get through traffic in fucking Atlanta. That shit is so trash. And it can happen at any point in time. It could be construction going on at any point in time. You living your life, leaving a club, and you come to a full stop. Nigga, why?
That's why.
Why? It's 3 a.m.
Right. Drunk as hell, tired.
Why is this happening? Right. And now you sitting here in back-to-back fucking traffic. Like, I love it here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really am blessed because I liked all the places that I lived in my life. I really like Atlanta, but that part, super duper con. Like, that shit is trash. And the person that found my relocation specialist said the best thing to me, like, listen, live closer to work. You got to go there every day. You know what I mean? Like, live closer to work. You got to go there every day versus going into the city. So that's how I ended up in Sandy Springs, because I'm just like, all right, bet. I'm still in Atlanta. You know, I'm fucking 5 minutes from Buckhead. We Gucci. But I'm closer to work. If I lived 10 more minutes into the city, my life would be totally fucking different. Right. When I worked at fucking Delta and that shit was, it's near the airport, and it take me right now about 25 minutes to get to the airport if you don't get in no traffic. Coming from that bitch, you take me an hour and a half every day just to get home. That's trash. And then it used to take me like an hour to get to work. So 2.5 hours of my day, sometimes almost 3 hours of my day is in the car. I'm disgruntled. Yeah, that's trash. I had a bad move. That's trash. I used to work when I worked in Raleigh and worked at Blue Cross and Durham and shit. Like, I did that shit for 7 years. Like, that shit was fucking, like, if you ain't get out of that motherfucker on Friday by like 4:30, oh, you was short. Facts. Like, really by I like remember them days too. That shit was the fucking worst. Like, right there on 40, stuck on 40 for fucking 45, 50 minutes and shit. Then you gotta get on 540 and that's another fucking, that shit was fucking trash. Yep. I got that shit. I remember that shit. Ooh, you just gave me, you know how you can feel something like it's going on? I can feel that tension right then. I remember when it snowed, we gonna wrap this bitch up because they probably like, what the fuck? I remember when it snowed when I worked there and, working in Durham, and it was one of them snows that kind of came out of nowhere, and then they let everybody leave at the same time. And everybody was gridlocked. And yes, and I lived in Mooresville. That shit was like, I wasn't even at Blue Cross then. I don't think. Bruh, I remember that shit. It took me fucking like 4 or 5 hours to get home. Yeah, same with me. That shit was the worst. And I live like 20 minutes away, like 25 minutes away. Yeah, I worked at the body shop. 4 hours and some change, almost 5. Yeah, that shit crazy. I had to piss in my damn car and shit. That shit was trash. Damn, you had to piss in the car? Yeah, because I was in traffic forever, and I had a quarter tank of fucking gas, and I had a fucking front wheel drive car. I had a rear wheel drive car, and that shit was the worst. Like, I was working. What that mean? It's spinning, right? Spinning because like the front wheels ain't pulling it. That shit was spinning like a bitch. I had to get out and just park that shit and walk to my mom's crib. Hell yeah, I walked to my mom's crib. Like, probably like a mile and a half, and I got there way before motherfuckers was there. Like, I was already in the car for like 3-4 hours. Was your car damaged? Nah, I just left it on the side of the road. I was just tired. I was just ready to get the fuck out the car. Like, I was like, I just stayed in, like, and I had my own crib. I was like, I could have made it in my crib, but I was like, man, I can't make it. I just went to my mom's crib, and I just went to my mom's crib, stayed the night there, and then my pops, because I remember the next day it was fine. It wasn't no fucking snow or nothing. And my pops took me to go get my car and shit, and he ain't had no gas, so I had to go get some gas and shit. It was stupid. I just remember cars just sliding all over the place, like bumping into each other and shit. It just kept snowing. I always, talk about Atlanta. I was like, weather is erratic from cold to warm, but like they'll never have like the city of Atlanta, like never really has any, major weather things. They have other shit, but not like weather related shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's like, but what about when they had that fucking ice storm or whatever they had? Remember a couple years back? Yeah. I think it was probably like, I've been here 5 years, so maybe like 6-7 years ago, and Atlanta was fucking stuck because it iced over and all the bridges and everything was iced and everybody was out there jamming. I was like, yeah, when something do happen, it shut the shit down because they ain't never prepared for it. But don't that much happen though, which is great. Because I would hate to be in a place and be like, oh shit, here come hurricane season. Or, oh shit, here come tornado season. Or, I don't know what no seasons are besides the 4. Like, niggas be like, yeah, it's hurricane season. I'll be like, oh, true. Like, it is that, but it's not something that's on the forefront of my mind. Anyway, man, thank y'all for listening to the show. Thank y'all for listening to all the crazy stuff that we talk about. And make sure y'all subscribe to the show. Go visit us on the website. Figure out who, get to know a little bit more about B Hill and about myself on theaintshow.com. Y'all know this is an expert I will be. And we're on Twitter, IG, tell a friend, Y'all know how I go. And we like to end the show with a quote. Today's quote is, "You never know who you are influencing. So be like us and operate in excellence." Y'all have a good one. Until next week, wash your hands. Please go vote. Voting time is, go vote early. If you can, if you cool with that, or vote on the day, just make sure you vote and make sure you tell a friend to vote. All right. And manifest your destiny, man. The marathon continues.